The church is brought to you by Kick That Fucking Mule. Oh shit. A little Prince deep from the trenches of death. It's the Church of What's Happening Now. Tuesday, November 9th, the day the devil was buried at sea. Here we go. When was the last time you heard this motherfucking tune here? Violins, black people, tremendous. None like black people and violins to bring together a Sunday afternoon, huh? Baby. Oh shit. This is the Church of What's Happening Now. Kick that mule. Do you want him? Oh shit. Wheeler, they don't make music like this no more, dog.
No.
He's putting his heart into this fucking thing. Here we go. This is real Vicodin music. Too much. It's too much.
It's too
You can feel the passion in his voice, people. Listen,
This is live, you know that?
if you don't have passion like this in what you're doing, fucking shoot yourself. You understand me? Are you fucking nuts? When I heard this the other night, I almost fucking got heroin. Like I was fucking itching. It took me fucking back to 1985. Tremendous. Wheeler Walker, ladies and gentlemen, the Flying Jew, and your Uncle fucking Joey on a Tuesday morning. What up, baby boy?
Miss you, man. Love you.
Miss you too.
Good to be here, man.
It's great to fucking have you. We didn't get you stoned tonight, so there's no misunderstanding.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Yeah, I got the fucking weed that fucking Kavanaugh fucking smoked before he choked that bitch that night. Because nobody talked about weed. That's what happened.
Well, I like your tweet where you said, ask her if he had a big dick, you know?
Yeah, what the fuck? If you seen his dick, tell me what's color the fucking scab is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ever see that movie Porky's?
Yeah.
Porky's one of the greatest, and I know Lee didn't see it. He was too busy watching Orange is the New Purple. Kim Cattrall is getting fucked in the locker room.
I don't think it was alive yet. But
the chick from Sex and the City is getting fucked in the locker room, and it shows these girls taking a shower. And it shows like their tits, and they're all washing themselves, and there's a hole in the wall. And a guy put his dick in the hole in the wall. It's fucking hilarious. You know, you're a kid. You laugh. It came out like in '84. And the next scene is the chick, the chubby fucking lesbian gym teacher, with the principal and the guy. And they're going, so what do you want us to do? And she's like, I want you to put an end to this. Somebody has to find this penis. And he goes, what do you want me to do? Get a sign and put, have you seen this penis? You never saw that movie?
I saw it, but I don't remember that scene.
Porky's penis scene. It is fucking legendary because they're howling at this poor woman to her face. It was just like what happened at the Senate committee hearings. They were just laughing at her. Like she's like, you know, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to find this dick. Or she kept calling it penis. And they're like, so what do you want us to do? Find the dick? Put Porky's
penis scene
or dick scene, whatever works.
Can they show fucking penis on YouTube? Maybe not.
Is Tallywhacker scene?
Yes, that's the one. Tallywhacker. She kept calling him Tallywhacker.
Oh no.
And he's like, so what do you want us to do? This is one of the greatest fucking scenes. Yeah, right there, Porky's. Tallywhacker. Let's see if they fucking even show it.
Mr. Carter, I know this is completely unorthodox, but I think this is the only way to find...
Look at his face.
Now that penis had a mole on it. I'd recognize that penis anywhere. In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
And he's trying to tell the kid not to laugh. Look.
That seducer and despoiler
And look at the gym teacher and the other guy are fucking howling.
But I've got him now, and I'm not going to let him slip through my fingers.
She grabbed the guy's dick in the shower.
Oh no.
Minutes. The coaches can be present. Tommy Turner.
Look at the principal's face. He's dying to laugh.
As you see fit to choose.
Look at the other two dudes.
It's like George Jones up there.
You put a stop to this menace, and it is a menace. Well, what are you going to do about it? Five young boys in the nude, a police lineup, so that you can identify his tallywhacker. Please, can we call it a tallywhacker? Venus is so personal for Venus is so personal. We can put hoods over their heads to avoid embarrassment.
He's dying to laugh. Look at him. He's holding his breath.
We have got to do it as distasteful as it is.
That's that chick at the fucking telling Kavanaugh he showed his dick. What?
Mad?
I feel like the guy with the black hair is you in school.
Look at him.
Mold.
That's comedy.
Mr. Albert, do you realize the difficulty of your request? Now, I would be very happy to apprehend the young man myself. But can't you imagine what the Board of Education would say if you were granted a lineup in order to examine their private their private parts for an incriminating mole? Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter, I think I have a way out of this. We call the police, and we have them send over one of their sketch artists. And this ball breaker can give a description. Wanted posters all over.
Watch what he says.
Have you seen this prank?
Have you seen this break? Look at his face, not the principal. Look at the principal. That's comedy, guys, right there.
As it is armed and dangerous.
Look at him, how he's holding it in. He's fucking dying inside.
It was last seen hanging out.
And that kid won't stop torturing him. That's the video you guys gotta see. Porky's, the tallywhacker scene. Then they focus on, this is the fucking real directing. This is, as stupid as this movie was,
I remember watching for the tits.
there was like, this always came on like at 11:30 in 1984. Like, because they did something. They showed you tits. And the chick from Sex and the City, every time she fucked, she would yell loud. She would moan loud. So the old lady on Sex and the City, she was in this movie, Porky's. Fucking tremendous.
I gotta rewatch it, man.
There's
'cause
two good movies that came out at the same time. The one before this was called Hollywood Nights. In fact, I'm doing something for the guy, Mike, whatever. He's in that movie. He's directing something for the Comedy Store, like a Showtime documentary.
Oh, yeah?
Mike Binder, his name is. He had a show on HBO called Mind of a Married Man.
Uh-huh.
He was New Bomb Turk's buddy in that movie, Hollywood Nights, which they pretty much cast out of the Comedy Store in 1982. That's how long Mike Binder's been around. So those two movies.
What are you shooting for them? Like a documentary about the movie?
About the Comedy Store.
About the Comedy Store.
It's
Okay.
a 5-hour documentary, and they're going to interview comics that are there before. And,
Where's it going to come out? Do you know?
I have no fucking idea. What's with the questions? I don't know nothing.
I'm asking the
They
question.
tell me to be there. They do a contract. I go down there. I talk for an hour, and I get the fuck out of there. I don't give a fuck. How the fuck are you? You're on tour with Kid Rock.
Touring, got a new album coming out. I'm doing these I'm bummed you're not doing these West Coast dates with me, man.
Yeah, no, because I canceled on Portland last year because I had the ear problem. So that's the date I'm in Portland.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I'm gonna miss you on those, but it'll be fun. Are you here for the LA show? Can you and Lee come out again?
I don't know what night the LA show is. You have to tell me.
I don't remember. Maybe it's at the Novo downtown. I want to say November 20.
I leave on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I think it's I think it is Thursday.
Trust me, we're fucked that weekend.
Yeah.
You know, bro, every weekend that I'm out is the weekend when something good's happening. Like this weekend I was home for Conor McGregor and whatever. But usually I'm on the road for everything.
I just got invited to see Skinner in Nashville. I'm going to be out of town for that. That bumped me out.
Yeah, it's always something. And
Yeah.
people have no idea what your schedule consists of. They have no idea. I would love to go see Judas Priest and fucking whatever. They were talking about Mike whatever was talking about today on the radio, how different it is that Judas Priest opens up for Smoke on the Water, whatever the fuck that band is. Who did Smoke on the Water? You don't remember now? Jesus,
Smoke on the
Christ.
Wall. I'm blanking, man.
She said, you didn't even smoke reefer. You're the fucking
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, that's right. Yeah.
So they were talking about the comparisons about Deep Purple, why Deep Purple's closing the tour, that people are going to see Judas Priest and leaving.
Oh yeah,
before
where's
Deep Purple.
where's this?
They're doing something. I think the LA something. I don't know what the fuck it is. I think it could have happened already. But I was like, when people invite me to shit, there's 1 week that I have 3 days in town, so I have to accomplish everything I do in 5 days.
Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand is these long weekends.
These long
by the
weekends kill you.
But
They-
2
they're
long
fucking
weekends,
weekends.
you all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, you only have to work weekends. 2 long weekends, you're in town 2 days.
And it used to be a longer week for comedy. Like when I got into comedy, it was Tuesday through Sunday. Do you know what
Shit.
that's like? By fucking
Oh, I've
Saturday,
done it, man. It sucks.
By Saturday, you don't want to even fucking crack a joke.
Well,
in your
I
sleep.
mean, I'm actually happy that we're even when I do have to do Wednesday through Sunday or something. I mean, we used to go out and do 28 dates in a row. So I'm actually happy where we are now.
Looking back at all that shit, like I love all that stuff. There was a time when I could do that. I remember when I was a kid, there was 50-50 tour. What's that guy? Dun, 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 dun. He does like a rockabilly type music. He's been around since I was a fucking kid, that guy.
Who?
I can't fucking...
Bo Diddley?
No, he's a white dude.
George Thorogood?
George Thorogood and
Yeah.
the Destroyers. George Thorogood 1 year in 82, maybe 81, did a 50-50, 50 states in 50 fucking days.
How the fuck you do that,
How
man?
the fuck do you do that, man?
Well, I don't know how. I mean, I'm at the age now where I don't know how the fuck I did the shit I did last year. Like, how'd I get through those shows? I don't even know.
You love something enough, like you love it, but then you have to look at your time
Yeah.
and what goes with that time,
It's just too much time away from home,
and you don't have a kid.
No, I have a son now. Did I
Oh,
tell you
you-
that? Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
what my new record's about.
Congratulations.
WW3. It's
How
named
old
after.
is he?
He's 6 months.
Yeah, so you know how it is. Bro.
Yeah, man, I can't keep. But
And as,
I got
and as he gets older, you don't want to be, no matter how famous you get, you don't want to be that type of dad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be on.
You don't want to be that type of dad.
But I don't want to be at a Kid Rock. I mean, nothing against Kid Rock, but I don't want to be playing Kid Rock shows. My kids growing up.
No, but even if you go out on your own, no matter what, and you have to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
look
right
at,
now it's how it pays the bills. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like every weekend's is.
it's
torture,
hard on you.
yeah.
Look at these older rock stars now. Yeah, they go out, but they play every other night. They're on testosterone. They're doing. They're
Well,
really
I know
taking
the
care of their
bi-
bodies. You
I-
can't drink and can you imagine if you were drinking and snorting and going out? Fuck.
I know dudes who. I mean, I don't know them, but there's the big guys now. They do private planes
Yeah.
to every show.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say Kid Rock does to every, but he flies into a lot of the show. I think he does at least.
He doesn't drive.
No, I think he flies in to the shows. I don't want to speak for him, but
That seems like the thing that would make it a 1,000 times easier. If you didn't have to wake up early, you could just get on the plane, no security.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, that's a big thing. You don't have to go through airports. But like, yeah, the big. I heard a lot of the big bands. Some of the biggest bands, they walk back. Show ends, they walk backstage, get on a plane. They sleep in their bed every night.
We have a friend, Chemo, who does security for Slash. And, whenever he comes to town, for
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, he'll always call and
Fuck,
say,
I wish I'd seen that reunion tour.
yeah,
I
he
didn't
goes,
see it.
you're invited, whatever. And it's weird. I've had conversations with him, and he said that on this last Guns N' Roses tour, he didn't even see Axl Rose till like the second or third month. That they fly independently.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, my last.
Like, their money is just so insane. They just get there on their own. They check into whatever.
You see him on
hotel,
stage. Oh,
and
yeah.
you see him on stage. They high five. Nobody's getting high no more. Nobody's drinking. So everybody goes back to their fucking room and plays the guitar and takes a Xanax and goes to sleep. And they get up and they don't see each other.
Well, I believe it.
You
Yeah.
know, you're at a certain level. I mean, I wish I could do what I was doing in my 30s now.
I agree
wish
with
I
that.
could leave on Wednesday and come back on Sunday and take 3 planes in between. Now, it's like that Pennzoil commercial. You're either going to pay me now or you're going to pay me later because it drags with you. Even if you get off the plane, do a little workout, drink water, get a good night's
Well,
sleep.
well, this trip for me, not to interrupt, is like, you know, it's just a couple. I have to come here for a couple of days of meetings. Then I fly back to Nashville, and 2 hours after I get back, I get on the bus because I get to drive overnight to Atlanta to play that night, which is fine. I mean, you listen, it's the life I chose, but it's still a bit much. I need more than 2 hours.
Did you watch Steven Tyler on Rogan?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see his fucking schedule at 68?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy.
I actually watched some of his Netflix special, which wasn't that great, but it was him trying to do country, you know. But it was, you know, it was kind of just, it was puff, you know, it wasn't that great. But yeah, I mean, Steven Tyler was in the.
68 years old. He was talking about his schedule, and you're sitting there going, holy fuck, I thought I had it tough. This guy is on the move, and he writes everything down. He was, remember,
And he still seemed pretty. I mean, he did a lot of drugs, but he seemed with it to me.
Yeah, all those guys. Listen, that was just a period in that time. Whoever, that guy's essence, when you watch him on Rogan that day, his essence came through like no guest Rogan ever had. You could tell that Johnny Depp's full of shit when you see this guy. He's the original Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
know
was
what I'm
going to say
saying?
my favorite music guest he's had recently, that, and I thought James Hetfield from Metallica was awesome.
James Hetfield was great on
Like
that,
those
but
two guys, you don't see him talk like that.
No, but Steven Tyler took me to like when he started talking about the chick that from Beaumont, Texas, that OD'd. You know, there was 3 people who OD'd. Morrison, fucking Hendrix, and the chick. What was her name?
Janis Joplin.
Janis
Yeah.
Joplin. He said he went to see Janis Joplin and how and listen, if you listen to their early albums, those yells are Janis Joplin.
Oh yeah, I
yells.
never thought about that. Yeah.
I want to welcome Lee's Fly. He finally got here.
Damn it.
Your pet fly. Lee's got a pet fly.
You got a pet fly, man.
Yeah.
You go a year without seeing
It's a
somebody.
service
then
fly.
you
He has a certificate.
Then you
Give him
find
his
out he's
due.
got a fucking
fucking pet fucking
fly.
fly because he eats hummus. It lives on his neck. He's like fucking that dude that lives in a pineapple
I
underwater.
can't eat hummus because I'm worried Joey's going to come to my house one day and find hummus.
I know you eat it.
No, I don't.
You eat hummus every day.
Check my fridge.
Trust me, you eat hummus every day. That's why you
The
drink
great,
flies.
the great debate.
Eats that hummus. Wait till fucking ISIS comes over.
At this point, I'll give ISIS your address.
Shit.
But
They're not coming over to my house because I don't eat hummus.
Is that where they go? Where the hummus
Yeah,
is?
where the hummus is.
no, that's the people who like him, I guess. But anyway, like, can you explain to people? Because I mean, I had a regular job, but the most recent out of us 3. Like, so there's people who work 40 hours a week, and they're like, "Oh, I'd love to just sit on a plane and then sit on a hotel and then go do that." But like it's more tiring than it sounds. Like just
So
travel.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I know what you're saying, and I agree 100%. I used to be a kid watching the people on TV complain about their schedule, and I would get so fucking pissed at them. I would give my fucking left nut to have that life. But it's just, you know, and I'm not complaining. I love it, but it's just.
I'm not
you know.
complaining about my schedule. I love what I do.
I
And
know,
I
I'm
love
just-
being busy, and I love not having time for stupidity.
Oh, that's.
There's
yeah.
nothing I love more than how I got all the stupidity out of my life.
But like we were talking about before the show. I mean, there's the lazy fucks who want to just take shortcuts. Ain't no fucking shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts, and you see it over the years that people keep attacking them, and you see the people that keep attacking shortcuts, and after a while you have to stay away from them because that's all they are is a fucking shortcut. You know, I'm not complaining at all about my schedule. I love that. You know what pisses me off?
What's that?
Wasted time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
The time I wasted over the years. That's what pisses me off today. When everybody in this room, and that's what I try to tell you people with this fucking stupid podcast. As stupid as this thing is, I'm 55. I go on the road. I got a nice family, whatever. But there was a lot of wasted time. There was 20 years of wasted time that I
Was
wish.
there 20?
In garbage. Watching
you talking
movies,
About, you talking about drugs or
drugs, the movie watching, the sports. There were so many things that didn't matter that you don't know till you're 55.
yeah, but I think the drugs and alcohol is what does it. I mean, you don't sit around when you're motivated and sober watching movies all day. You know.
Let me tell you something. I've always been a motivated guy because when I was 16, my mother died, and when I was 20, I realized that you're alone in this world. So get that out of the way right there. I was always a hustler, wheeler, dealer. I was always up to something. But I could sit there for 10 hours and watch movies. 12 hours. I could watch a Charles Bronson festival by myself. It was okay. I learned a few things. I got into the business, so it wasn't a waste of time.
It's research, yeah.
But, that's why when I see young kids and they tell me they got to go home for a sport day, like I'm sitting here watching New England, I don't get it. Because once you really get into life and once you find what you love, that shit don't matter. Like, none of that shit matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think
nothing matters.
The only thing that can get in the way of your private life, I think, when you get too obsessed with it, don't you think?
Well, I always think of women. If I was a woman and I dated a guy, and if he broke my balls on Sunday that he had to go sit with other guys at a bar to watch a game, that guy would be dumped. Like, I would dump that fucking guy as a woman. Any guy that's above fucking 30 that comes to me and says as a woman that he has to play softball with his buddies, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's history. Like, I've never believed in a lot of stuff. I don't believe in watching cartoons after a certain age. Like, I never watched The Simpsons. I don't watch shit. I don't give a fuck. You watch cartoons when you're a fucking kid. You want to put a Superman on a shirt on when you're 25, go choke yourself. You're not doing nothing for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already knew that. Like, at 26 and 27, like, I had stopped watching football. Like, I remember sitting in a bar and with my friends watching football and going, what the fuck is happening in my life? There's got to be something I could be doing than sitting here waiting for a drug delivery and watching football. But I was homeless at the time, and I had no choice.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to get out of hanging out in bars. I couldn't wait. When I left Jersey in '84, I was 21, and I didn't want to walk into another bar ever again. Like, I was content at 21 not to walk into a bar ever again. I never really did.
I'm kind of the same way as you. It's like, sometimes I'll be on the bus Sunday driving back from the Saturday night gig. It's like an all-day bus ride. And your instinct sometimes to complain about it, but then you think, like, I worked my fucking ass off for this, and it's a nice fucking bus, It's not a big, what the fuck do I need? Need to be at home doing the same fucking shit?
One of my favorite videos of all time is Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive. Because they show him on the bus after a show wiping his face. And I remember being a civilian, like selling cars and watching that video and my dick getting hard. Because I was saying that's what life on the road is like. And I remember being on Greyhound buses going, Bon Jovi did it. Like that. Like,
yeah,
Greyhound.
well, that's the thing, too, is, what, to me, the great equalizer of tour buses are? There's not a bus in the world that you can take a shit on. You guys know that, right? You cannot shit on tour buses.
I haven't been on a tour bus. Why can't you shit on a tour bus?
Because where the fuck is it going to go? You can't dump it on the fucking highway. You can't fucking keep it in that thing, and the whole bus is going to smell like shit. So it doesn't matter how fucking rich you are, ain't no shitting on the tour bus. So you can be fucking Aerosmith, you can be fucking Wheeler Walker Jr., no matter what.
Is that like a code amongst musicians?
Yes. I mean,
really?
But it's
so I got to fuck this shit at 4 a.m. Because I lived in an RV for a while, and I take ginormous shits in there.
In the RV?
Fuck yeah. And then once a week you take it to some place, and
some
guy that gets $8 an hour puts a hose on the fucking thing.
But you weren't living with 5 fucking people.
I was living with a girl in an RV.
And it smelled like shit?
No, it smelled like fucking tropical paradise. Yeah, it smelled like fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm on the bus. I don't want someone else to.
No, that's how I feel. That's why when people ask me today, do you want to go on a tour bus? I go, first off, I don't want to smell another man's feet. I already did time.
Yeah.
When you do time, you smell men's feet. And then you smell men's assholes. You just smell it in the air because these people don't want to take showers. I can't live with that. Yeah,
well, that's my thing now. It's just like your whole life. My whole life now is revolved around how the fuck and where the fuck I'm gonna take a shit. But like I said, it's worth it. I don't
But
care.
aren't tour buses really expensive? They can't.
You could take a
insulate
shit on a
this
tour
thing?
bus. I'm just saying, there's 8 guys on a tour bus. If I gotta stop every time somebody needs to take a shit, we're never gonna get nowhere.
No. Ain't no. You guys look it up. Ain't no tour bus you can shit on. I think there's some where they chop it up. I'm not kidding. And like,
Listen, Ralphie May had a tour bus. If anybody had his shit, it was that motherfucker. Okay, he
rest in peace. Yeah, well,
he bought what's his name's old tour bus, the guy that plays
I was just.
barefoot up on stage.
Dave Matthews?
Dave Matthews.
So I just we rent tour buses every weekend. We just had Axl Rose's old tour bus. No shitting on that.
Is there a toilet?
It's a toilet. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can piss. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. I can never be in a band because I shit 4 or 5 times a day, especially with coffee. So if I got to pull over after the 3rd time, I'm shitting in that bathroom, and you flush it, and you light incense, and you come out. I don't want to smell nobody else's shit. I never do. That's why I don't go to the bathroom at the airport. You ever walk into the bathroom at the airport at 5 in the morning? It's like a tornado of 18 different shits going on.
I mean, I
Your
go there to
nose
piss.
cannot even. Your nose can't even handle it in the men's
No,
bathroom.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you.
You
But
go in there, it's fucking horrible.
But when you gotta go, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've shit in some fucking crazy places this past year. Places I never thought I would even. I don't know how I did it, but when you gotta go that fucking bad.
I was one of those kids that used to hold on to stuff, and then I got sick, and then I made it a habit just to shit when I had a shit. And it started
You
the
know what?
night that Freddie Prinze killed himself. 19, whatever, I was walking home, it was fucking freezing, and we used to cut through the cemetery, and we'd see devil worshippers through there doing shit, and they'd chase us and shit. And one night I had a shit, and I went in there, and I'll never forget taking that shit and looking back, and the guy had been buried like in 1891. I'm like, nobody visits this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, who visits this guy? He ain't got nobody left. This part of New Jersey, like North Bergen, where I would cut through the projects, was old. It was old. And I remember that was the first time I took a shit outside, and I pissed in my pants. I didn't take my pants all the way off.
Oh shit.
I shit, and I kept peeing, and when I put my pants on, they were frozen. It was so cold outside that my pants got like icicles on them, and I had to walk home like the Tin Man. Fucking.
Was there like ice hanging from your dick?
It was ice on my pants, like it froze that fast. By the time I pulled my pants off, I heard like little.
The pee's
shingles.
hot too.
Oh yeah, there was steam coming out and stuff. But it was that cold out. It was mid-January in Jersey.
I knew there was a reason why I remembered Dave Matthews' tour bus. Do you remember in 2004, his bus driver was on a bridge and dumped 800 pounds of poop off the bridge, but a river cruise was going by at the same time and poured it
See?
on the boat.
Well, I'm saying, but yeah, that's exactly right. He was the guy who tried to do it. He can't do it. I mean,
You
fucked
can't
it.
dump it in the fucking ocean, but there's people who will fucking stick a hose in the RV or the tour bus and they suck all the shit out of it. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I gotta find this guy. I'll get this
Yeah,
bus.
they're everywhere. All those places where you stop on the road with trucks, there's always a creepy looking guy back there. Listen, he
So,
just got out of
I
jail.
think I think it is. I think is maybe it's my. But I think maybe
It's a personal thing. Listen,
But I think it's $1,000 fine.
if
or
you
something.
invite me to your home, I will not take a shit at your house.
Really?
I have a rule. I won't take a shit at your house, and you don't take a shit at my house.
I'm not playing on
Okay,
it.
I have a rule. There's only one person who broke, and I had to pull him aside one time and have a little talk, and that was Ari. He came to my house, and he stunk up the fucking bathroom.
Oh, I fucking
like
hate
10
that shit.
dead Jews. You can't do that to me. You understand me? It smelled like fucking Jewville.
What did
all
you
over.
say to him?
I had to pull him aside and go, listen, this is an unspoken rule. Don't shit in my house. And I won't come to them. Don't make me go to your house and take one of those mule shits. Because I won't shit for 3 days and knock on your door and I'll fucking destroy that bathroom like an animal. So there's a rule amongst Joey Diaz. I got to go to your house. Once you start smelling the first 2 farts, if it's me and if it's a pre-shit, I'm out of your house.
How about this? But anyone listening, that's my new rule. I'm taking that rule.
I don't even shit in hotels. Like during the weekend,
What?
I shit lightly. Like only little, like 6-inch pieces come out. So they're like little nuclear waste. But when I get home on Sunday, when that Uber driver drops me at home, I take the key out of the suitcase. I go in the house and I drag the suitcase all the way to the bedroom. I take my computer, my notebook out, and whatever weed I brought home from the weekend, I put it in the office. And right away, before I do anything, I go in that bathroom, that back bathroom, and out will come a piece of 40 to 48 inches of the whole weekend shit. Because my asshole is a fucking decent person. He doesn't even like shitting on other people's back.
But how do you not do it all weekend at the hotel? I don't
My
understand.
stomach knows I'm in foreign
That's
territory.
crazy. Yeah, you and I've been doing, and this is not good for me. It's before like an 8-hour drive, and I know I can't shit on the bus. I'll sit down the toilet and try to push something out, which I think that's bad for your fucking asshole.
Well, that's how Elvis died. What you need to do is smoke a pipe while you're doing it. So when you cough, you push at the same time. That's a trick, Uncle Joe. You don't even get that from WebMD.
I'll fucking do that.
I do it in the morning. I'll drink coffee, and I'll feel like a little something, but it's not ready yet. But I got
What's
shit
the
to
pipe?
do.
What's the pipe do?
The pipe makes you cough. The weed. So when you do a bong hit, you cough, right? So when you cough, look, your asshole opens up. Cough right now. Cough.
Yeah.
So by the time you go, it just bloop.
So if Elvis had coughed, he'd be alive. Right?
I don't know if Elvis would have coughed. I'm just telling you.
He was
This
eating
is how Joey,
cheeseburgers with peanut butter and
this is how Joey Diaz does it. You got to fucking
Banana.
No,
cough it out.
listen, man, I'll try it.
I don't like pushing either. I believe that's how you get a heart attack. That's how Gigi died on The Sopranos.
yeah.
And that's how Elvis died. Is by
Someone
pushing.
told me that people find people dead on the like cops. That's the most common place to find people dead when they like people like neighbors will complain this apartment stinks. They'll bust in, find the guy sitting on the toilet.
I hope I don't die in the toilet.
Yeah.
I hope I don't die taking like a mule shit. And they got to take me off, and I got a dirty ass. And the interns got.
Well, don't you when you die? Don't you shit?
You have one last fart left in you. I'll never forget when my mom died. I picked up her arm and she had one last fart left in her, and it came out of her ass and it smelled like a skunk died in her fucking stomach. I swear to God, I'm not
Really?
even trying to be cute. Yeah, when my mom died before the ambulance got there, I was trying to revive her.
What was it?
She was a heart attack, but you always have that last gas in you. That's why they do stuff during not the autopsy, but the when they prep you for the funeral.
Yeah.
They do something so that last fart won't come out of you because it's horrible.
What do they do? Just stick.
I don't
something
know.
up there?
They do something. I don't know. You know, I hung out with a guy that did that as a living, and in all my years with him,
Like the mortuary.
the mortuary
Yeah.
business, me and him got down. We talked about everything, but it was like it's unethical to talk about what you do during not the autopsy, but the other procedure. What do they do to you? Embalming.
Yeah. Well, a buddy of mine
They
did
break
that
your
once.
spine. They break your spine so you don't pop up.
What?
Yeah, because you have those muscles still left in your body. Like in Cuba, when you died, they didn't have no embalming fluid. They just put you in the living room in a fucking homemade casket, and they buried you, and you started stinking. So my mother would tell me, you'd go to these fucking places, and all of a sudden the cadaver would just pop up, and you got to break his back to get him down. Like sometimes an arm comes up
Why does it come up?
because it's the
Like
last,
rigor mortis or
it's
whatever
the
that's
rigor
called?
mortis
Oh,
sets in.
shit.
It's the last tensions of your muscle. So your arm, like they always say, don't hit your mother. If you hit your mother, your hand will pop up in the fucking casket, and they have to break it to bury you. Like I heard, my buddy told me one time that when he was a kid, an arm did pop up, and they pretty much had to fucking break it.
A buddy of mine was doing that. Has that job. He was telling me years ago he was doing it to some dude, and the dude, and you see the dude naked, obviously, when you're doing it. He said the dude had "fuck me" tattooed on the head of his dick.
Oh my god.
That's always great.
That's not something you want to see
To
on a
find
dead
the
guy.
guy would fuck you on his dick.
Yeah, but then that tattoo's gotta hurt, right?
That's got to be one of the worst jobs in the world, is finding death.
Yeah,
That's a horrible place to put your mind after a while. You know,
it's
like
gotta
if you-
get to you.
Like if you had to pick up bodies all day, like I used to pick up bodies with him. Sometimes, like he was my buddy, like that. Like he would go, what are
Just
you
to help
doing?
him out, you mean?
Like he would go, what are you doing? Nothing. Let's take a ride. And we'd go to Kennedy Airport, fucking smoke a number, and pick up a body off a plane. Like when they're taking the luggage out, they let you go all the way back there, and after the luggage get tossed off, the bodies come off. So it was people who were raised in my area, but had moved to Florida to retire, and they died, and they're flying back. I can't tell you how many runs we made when I go pick up a body with him.
To freak you out?
Yes and no. Yes and no, to a degree. I learned how to deal with it, but I'm not supposed to be around that stuff. Like I couldn't be around that stuff constantly. When I go to wakes, it's terrible.
Yeah, I try not to. I don't like.
I don't like none of that shit.
I don't like that shit.
I can't do it no more. Like,
Not that anyone likes it.
last week I opened up a Facebook page, and one of my dearest friends had a post that said her life changed forever, that her mother died. And I just broke down at the fucking computer because I know what she was feeling like. I called her up. I said, flowers, you know, that's the least I could do. But at this age, I can't go to a wake. I can't walk in a wake no more. There's no fucking way. It brings back too many fucking... I went to 20 wakes my first fucking 25 years of life. I'm done with wakes. I went to enough wakes. Like, I'm done. I'll go to a cemetery. In fact, I don't even... after the last thing I went, I started a fist fight. Like, that's how I was spicky.
What do you mean?
That's how emotional I get. The last memorial I went to, that's why I didn't go to Mitzi Shores, because I knew I would have fucking got into a fight.
Why do you get in fights?
Because I just get confused. It brings me back to being a kid. And as they say, a good funeral, there's always got to be a fight. For it to be a
See, I
good
never
funeral,
heard
there's
of
got to
that.
be
Me
an
either.
argument. Yeah, there's
Liam,
gotta
you're
be.
with me. Yeah.
I've been to a few funerals.
When
And
my mother died,
thought they were
like
okay.
it was like 5 days of just confusion because they were Cuban people. And the Cuban funeral parlor where they had my mother was open 24 hours.
This is Jersey, right?
Jersey. It was West New York, New Jersey, Rivero Funeral Parlor. That's still there, but a different owner. This guy was friends with my father in Cuba, and he came to me after I had already booked my mother in a funeral parlor. He came to me and he goes, "You can't do that." He goes, "I owe your father a favor. Let me have her in the funeral." It was a fucking 4-day wake. 24 hours. So me, my uncle, and my mother's best friend had to cover shifts. You know, and you didn't.
And how old were you?
16.
Yeah, that's too
You
young.
never stay. And I had a friend that died in the 8th grade, and then a year after my mother, another buddy from that same class that lived 2 doors down from me, died. So I went to 3 heartbreaking wakes, and then in high school, a girl got into a car accident. You know, all those little fucking wakes. And one day I was like, I ain't going to wakes no more because it takes me out of the game for 3 days. It brings me back to me being there at that fucking wake for 4 days. You know, that's got to be a tough time for a family when you got to go deal with it. Like, I remember having to go to and identify my mother. And then my aunt's like, "Where's her earrings?" The fucking intern stole them. The EMTs stole her diamond earrings.
Jesus Christ.
You know, and then there was drama there. So now my aunt was like a spicy Cuban woman. She wanted to talk to the EMT and smack the fuck out of them. Then we had to switch funerals. And then there was drama with my stepfather. And then they put the wrong dress on my mother. So the lady choked the funeral director. During the fucking wake, dog. You heard
During the wake?
Yeah, and then fucking during the wake, I'll never forget this. There was a scene during my mother's wake where we're in the fucking, like in the parlor. And people are bringing bottles of booze in. Like, people were bringing bottles of booze to bury my mother with the pinch. That's what she drank, pinch. And the owner was like, "People, I'm going to lose my license. You can't fucking bring booze in here."
Is that a Cuban thing that's what they do?
Yeah, like you bury them with whatever, Coke, a fucking Cuban sandwich, whatever you want to bury them with. And I'll never forget that Rivero, the funeral director, was in the hallway telling, like, my aunt, what the rules were. Like, he can't have booze here. And before he get the words out, one of my mother's friends, Nardo, that was a bookie, went in his pocket, took out, I don't know how much, it was like hundreds, and he just put it
And all of a sudden you can have booze.
in the guy's pocket. And the guy was like, "I can't take your money." And he goes, "I don't give a fuck." And the 2 doors opened, and Nardo's brother and one of his buddies was carrying not like a regular cooler, but one of those long coolers filled with beers. And they just walked past the guy. I remember sitting there going, and they stopped and asked him where were they going to put the beers. And the guy's like, "You can't have beer at a funeral parlor. I'm going to lose my license." They didn't give a fuck. And then they started drinking, and they started playing dominoes. Then they started snorting.
Seriously?
Oh, once they would start snorting, I'd have to leave. These Cubans are crazy.
And you're 16 during
16.
Is this every Cuban funeral? Is it like a party?
No, but they take there's some Cubans who go back to the old school, and they take a 24-hour wake for 2 or 3 days, and it's 24 hours. That means when that after Wheeler Walker gets off stage in L.A. and has his 15 drinks and his 20 bumps, he'd go stop by and pay respects. So you show up with a bottle and a gram of blow, and I'd get there at 8 in the morning. There'd be 20 people there, snorting and drinking around my mother and shit like that. Drinking from the night before.
Well,
It was fucking hilarious.
what's the meaning of that tradition? I don't understand.
Just, it's a party. They don't want it to be sad. It's a
Okay. Well,
celebration.
see that I kind of like, I guess.
It's a celebration, and they don't want it to be like a fucking.
But I'm just
crying
thinking
fest.
about being 16. I don't know that I would want a party, you know.
I didn't want a fucking party. I just wanted to bury this poor woman. She had gone through hell, and all of a sudden they were just laying all these things on me. They were going to do a church ceremony, and I was like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Just exhausted.
I'm
you mean?
trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life, and you
Yeah.
motherfuckers are asking me stupid questions like what color shoes. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't want to hear it. Like I was just numb for 5 days. It was just, and a lot of interactions. You have a lot of people you haven't seen. People talk to you. People pull you aside. You know, those wakes are just a fucking nightmare, man. I don't wish anybody to go through that stuff. Like when people call me, over the last 10 years, I've had a couple of my friends call me and go, "Hey man, for a couple of years I didn't like you, but I lost a parent, and I see what I'm going through, and now I understand you a lot better."
Huh.
I can't imagine being 16 and going through what I'm going through at 40. I can't imagine. I just got a whole
Yeah, I
new
can't
respect for you.
imagine going through it. At
Yeah,
16.
it was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. When I think about it or I write about it, it comes out black and white. Like that part of my life.
You think there was like
and
some,
white.
not to get too deep, but like some trauma there that you were dealing with ever since then?
Absolutely.
You think that's what the drugs came from?
I was already. Let's not blame the fucking drugs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
blames drugs on something. I was already on my way.
All right.
I remember being in the hospital and they scraped my lung, and I wasn't doing blow then, but I was snorting angel dust. I was snorting THC, crystal THC.
What do you mean scrape your lungs?
I had a lung infection from
Okay.
paraquat, from them spraying chemicals on weed to kill it, and the dealers were still selling it, so a bunch of people got sick.
Mm-hmm.
I would spit blood, pure blood. I had a lung infection. And they couldn't figure out what it was, so they were like, "We're gonna scrape your lung." And I still remember
Just
going,
the sound of that doesn't sound.
yeah. So what
I
they
don't
do
like
is they put you out, and they put a tube down your throat, and they take a sample of your lung, a little piece of your lung, and they put it in a micro fucking scope, and they see what's going on. You don't. By the time you wake up, you cough a little bit. There's a tube down your
And
throat.
what did it say? What did it say there?
It didn't say that. It just said I had some type of infection. But I was scared that the doctor was going to say in front of my mother, "Did you do fucking angel dust?" So I was already on
So
my
what
way.
age was that?
16, 15.
Okay.
By 12, I was already smoking dope.
See, I was not doing that.
And I enjoyed it. In fact, every time I hear Bohemian Rhapsody, I giggle my ass off. Because I still remember smoking a joint between like 8 of us and going to Blimpie Base on like 33rd in Union City. And that song was on. And when he goes, "Oh, Mamma Mia," we fucking lost it. We just lost it in there. Giggling. The management had to come over and throw us out. That type of shit. And then we would just smoke. I was an athlete, so I didn't want it to get out. So I would just smoke with the downtown crew. The crew from my neighbor. We would smoke.
So you already
all the
loved
time.
weed at 12.
I had to hide it from my mother. I had to hide it from.
But you're saying you started pretty heavy
Yeah.
at 12.
Not heavy. Once a week. It was
Okay.
like a fucking ceremony. On Friday.
But you knew you
nights.
liked it at 12.
Oh, we would have a blast. How can you not like giggling for 5 fucking hours when you're 12? Giggling uncontrollably, giggling, then fucking eating, and then having to put Visine in your eyes and Banaka, and fucking have to walk in
See,
your
mate,
house.
when I was a little kid and I did smoke weed, I always got paranoid. I didn't like it.
No, I loved it. I liked it better than alcohol. I'll tell you that. I didn't like the feeling of alcohol. Alcohol always gave me this trapped feeling. Marijuana gave me this other feeling. Then I discovered marijuana and music.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing when it got me, too.
That
yeah.
was it. By the
Well,
time I
once-
was 14, I was done.
Once
Done.
the first time you smoke weed and put on those headphones, it changes your
Done.
fucking life.
Changes your life.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling Lee that I bought Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl a couple weeks ago, and I came in here one night, just at the house. It was 9:30. Everybody was in bed. I go, "I'm going to sit here like a mook. Let me at least go get some air." And I came to the office, and I must have done my 6 bomb hits. And I put that Dark Side of the Moon on. It took me back. And I still remember going with this kid named Vinnie Lynch that looked just like Mick Jagger. God bless his soul. He just died about 4 years ago. He took me to like a reservoir, and we took like a hit of acid, and we split like a 6-pack of Heineken. I must have been freshman year in high school. And I went home, and that acid started fucking hitting me, Wheeler fucking hard. And I still remember laying in bed listening to the other side of Dark Side of the Moon.
It's like Money and that shit.
Money with the computer. And boy, I started tripping. I had Julius Irving poster. I had a McDonald's All-American Team poster on my wall. But the poster that I had that was the weirdest. There was a Led Zeppelin picture that was going around, but it was backwards. So they said that poster would be a collector's item. They only made like 200 of them. It's probably bullshit. There's probably 1,000 of them. But there's a Led Zeppelin poster from the 70s that's backwards. John Bonham's playing the different way. Jimmy,
Like left-handed, you mean?
everybody's different because it's fucking crazy. And that poster started talking to me and shit. And I closed my eyes. I prayed to God. And the next thing you know, I woke up the next morning and I had puked. I had puke all over my shirt, and I had a piece of gum that I had in my mouth stuck on my shoulder from the gum from the
Yeah,
night.
I took mushrooms once, and I swear to God that I had a Nirvana poster. I swear Kurt Cobain was talking to me. I mean, I still, to this day, I can picture it in my head. I can picture his mouth moving from the poster.
And then I still held out for coke. I did the THC crystal, but the drug I was hooked on the most was microdot acid. That was the one. That was from 15 to about 16 and a half. I was on a fucking 17. I was on a tear with microdot acid. I would give one hit to people. I would buy them for 90 cents a piece and sell them for $3. I would go to East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and pick them up on the weekends and sell
How
them.
far is that? I don't know that area.
It's like two and a half hours from where I lived. And I just saw the kid on Facebook that used to drive me after all these years. He just popped up on Facebook, and I haven't even friended him yet.
Isn't Facebook fucked up, man? It does. Sometimes it brings up good memories, sometimes bad.
No, this kid was a great kid.
Yeah.
This kid had no reason to even take me there. He liked me. He trusted me. He was 2 years older than I was. He had a driver's license. I didn't. And I would buy shit from him, and it was overwhelming. And one day he just said, why don't you just fucking sell it yourself, because you're killing me. I was killing him. You know, I knew how to get rid of. In my school, people would show up and play hooky and take acid. And then they'd go buy beers and go to Hudson County Park, and they'd trip and shit like that. Every day I had 10 girls playing hooky. I had these little group of hippie chicks, dirty white chicks, and I would sell them mescaline every fucking day.
Were you making decent money off it?
I was making $2.90 a fuck, $2.10 a hit, and I was selling 300-400 hits a week. Plus, I was selling black beauties. I was getting black beauties.
You're making a full-time living doing that.
Full-time living, working at a lumber yard, robbing with 3 hands from the lumber yard. You understand me? I mean, robbing them blind in the lumber yard, and at the same time, and I would get these black beauties that would make you go crazy. They were diet pills, but heavy-duty diet pills. That's why they called them black beauties. I would get 1,000 of them for $35, but the wrestlers that had to make weight, I would sell them 100 for $35. The profit was unbelievable. Guess how much I sold one for? $1. $1, and I'd sell 100 a day on dollars. So as soon as I got 1,000, I had 4 or 5 wrestlers that would buy 100 from me. So that covered my 35, and I'd make like $100, and then the rest was $1 a piece. 12 for $10. I would fucking sell those things. I was getting those for 35 cents a piece.
I'll tell you what, man, you really you've turned your life around, huh?
I knew how to hustle. I
Yeah.
knew at an early age.
Do you think that hustling
hustle.
has helped you in comedy?
Fuck yeah. It
Okay.
helped. This type of hustle, it's called ingenuity. It's called, I didn't want to work. I had a central network of people I could sell drugs to. I didn't have to go outside that boundary. I didn't have to go on a corner and wait for a DEA agent to pull me over. When I picked up something, it was 3/4 sold. I wouldn't pick it up. So I wouldn't lose any money. So another hot thing for me was Quaaludes. Quaaludes were hot, Jack. Hot. So you would pay.
Did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
I fucking love that. See,
Yeah.
I'm too old or too young. I mean, for
Oh,
Quaaludes.
Quaaludes were the hottest drug ever. From 78, 77 to about 83, a fucking Quaalude was top notch.
How does it make you feel?
Top notch. Like 10 Valiums and 2 shots of whiskey. Just that fucking chill. And girls knew. They called them leg spreaders. Girls knew. Like, I would pick Kichi up and say, let's go for a ride. What are we doing tonight? I don't know. I was thinking, let's split half a Quaalude. And girls knew. Like, girls knew what time it was. And some girls would fight it out, and some girls would pass the fuck out. But everybody knew what a Quaalude did to you. That was them. They were money makers, because on a Friday night, they went like that. I'd pick up 200 Quaaludes. I'd pick up 100 Quaaludes for $200 at 4 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, I'd be cleaned up. I'd make $200 because I'd sell them for $4.
At that age, that's a lot of money.
I would sell 200 of them on a Friday night and keep 10 of them for myself. And me and my friends would eat 2 or 3 of them. And I built my tolerance up to them. And then what happened was people started making them at home. So you would have to look at them and see if they spelled lemon wrong. Like some people would spell lemon with 2 M's. These dumb fucks. So the 2 pharmaceutical companies that made them were Rora, R-O-R-E-R, and Lemon, which was L-E-M-O-N. Those were the
What was in the
pharmaceutical-
fake ones?
They weren't. The fake ones were stronger than the fucking real ones. Because it was just a young kid putting shit in a fucking thing.
But it probably, I mean, was it good shit? I mean, it's probably bad for you, right? Or not?
I ate 1,000 real Quaaludes, and then I ate 1,000 bad Quaaludes.
It's kind of like weed.
One
you never
night
know.
with the Quaalude, I OD'd with Quaaludes at Joe Lucci's house. I'm going to see Joe Lucci this weekend in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah, I'm playing West Palm Beach.
And if,
Hopefully, come out
and if
see
he
you.
tells this, and if he comes, I'm going to tell this story. There's 2 guys that's supposed to come, Louis Castellito, and I could tell an hour of stories with Louis in the room. Louis knows that we saw some shit growing up, and that kid Joe Lucci, he would always have a pre-party for any concert. So any concert in Madison Square Garden, you could count on Joe Lucci tapping a keg at 4 in the afternoon. So you would go to his house at 4, get fucked up till 7, jump on the train, and go to Madison Square Garden. And when I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Ted Nugent, AC/DC, and he goes, I got you beat. December 6, 1976, it was Monday Night Football. The Cleveland Browns beat whatever. He goes, I went to see Ted Nugent open up for Sabbath.
Fuck, man.
That's how good his memory was. Like, that's how good, like, he
Yeah,
was
I
solid.
wish I saw Sabbath reunion tour, but I wish I'd fucking seen him in the day.
Let me tell you something, man. You know who got me rehooked on Sabbath? Dean Delray.
Dean's a great dude.
These albums that Sabbath put up over the last couple of years, they're not too fucking shabby.
No, they're not bad. They're not
They're
bad.
not shabby. They're fucking still kicking ass for fucking whatever they are. Tony Iommi, I'm surprised. I heard a song the other day on Ozzy's Boneyard. I had to run home and put it on. I was blown away.
No, I saw him on like a tour a few years ago, but the problem was Ozzy couldn't sing.
Well, he's 60-something.
I know, but I mean,
they said he's had a ghost singer for years.
well, that's what I told. That's what someone said that there's someone behind the stage singing for him.
That's what I've heard.
And
for
I'm
years.
like, well, he took that fucking night off, man.
People do that? People have ghost singers?
That's what I mean. Joey and I heard the same story, so it must be true.
Ghost singers and lip syncing. The lip
I've heard lip
syncing.
syncing, yeah.
Okay, you know, Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez, Janet Jackson, anybody who moves a lot. When they start a tour, and I know this because I went to the University of Colorado and I took a music course, and the guy who did Janet Jackson's tour did a speech one day, and I just went, you know. And he was talking about when Janet Jackson, her tour starts, 85% of the tour is lip synced
Isn't that crazy?
because of her cardio. That before Janet Jackson would go on the road in the 90s and early 2000s, she would have to train for 8 weeks. And even that wasn't enough because you have the
Yeah,
lights.
no one can dance like that.
Yeah, you have the lights and this and that and the adrenaline. So she goes, so in the beginning of the tour, no matter how much training you put in, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, the first
You want to know
month-
the Ozzy story I heard? You know how he always pours a bucket of water over his head?
Yeah.
So what I heard was, again, I won't say who told me because I don't know. I don't give up my sources. Is that he pisses his pants on stage because he's so old, and they kept trying to figure out diapers and shit. And they couldn't figure out what to put him in. So they go, how about just dump fucking water on your head, and then you'll be fucking soaking wet. You piss your pants, no one can fucking tell.
That's crazy.
That's what he does. That's what I heard at least.
When you were growing up, when I was growing up, like if you look at a picture of Archie Bunker, he was 46 years old. He looked like he was fucking 90.
Oh yeah, I mean, how old was Elvis when he died? Like you think about it now, he was
42, I think.
I was listening to Blood on the Tracks the other day, you know, which is when you think of old Bob Dylan, he was 33. You know what's crazy? Remember the Traveling Wilburys? All
Yes.
those old guys? Look up their ages, man. It's crazy. They're like all late 30s.
Except for the one guy, had to be old.
Roy Orbison?
Yeah, he was already.
Well, I
old.
don't know. Well, maybe, but
Yeah,
not
he
as
was already
but not
old.
as old as you think.
No, but he was already old. You know, listen, the longevity factor, I did not think. I just saw a video of Mick Jagger rehearsing in his living room. Did you see that video?
No, but he's still with.
72 years old, still fucking.
Well, I heard
doing
they're
more.
making a new record.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck. You know him. He's money hungry as fuck. He's a genius, that guy. But he's 72 and he's still moving. He's still having kids.
Oh yeah.
He don't give a fuck. He just knocks you up and
And
tells
Keith
you,
Richards can still fucking play.
Keith, I love you. I want to be with you, but let's do this. I'll give you $1 million. I'll see the kid once a year, and I'll come over and get on all fours because it's all over. I'm lighting your pussy on fire when I get over there. That's what he does all over the country. He's 70 all over the world. All over the world.
You think he's taking Viagra?
He's taking everything. I know for a
Okay.
fact he does testosterone.
Really?
Yeah, all those guys. I asked the doctor one time, what was his biggest customers? Actors, actors, or bodybuilders, and he goes, my biggest customers are musicians. The musicians that you see today. That's how they keep going out and working 3 nights. You know, Black Sabbath can't do it every night. They could do 3 shows in a week,
Yeah.
and that's it.
What's the testosterone? What's it do? I mean, it just keeps you.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how the testosterone affects you. It keeps you moving. It makes you stronger. You know, I don't know exactly what the components are.
I'll tell you what, Mick Jagger. I mean, he looks like he's in great fucking shape.
You know, Keith
Maybe.
Richards looks like a bus hit him, but I guarantee he'll do a tour. He still has it in him to do a
Well, I
tour.
saw a funny quote from Willie Nelson the other day. He said something about, you kids got to take care of the planet because we need don't fuck up the planet because you got to leave it in good shape for me and Keith Richards.
How old is Willie Nelson now?
I think 80 something.
And he's still going. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
had the festival in Austin. I think these guys.
They just don't know how to. I mean, Paul McCartney looks like a kid, but he's
Oh, my God.
he's fucking old.
Oh my God, Paul McCartney looks like a fucking kid. He's touring, right? He was in
What's
Austin.
he's got to
this
be
last
he's got to be
weekend.
almost 80, right?
Willie Nelson's 85.
And what's Paul McCartney?
85.
And what's Paul
Remember,
McCartney?
I mean, it was pretty recently to just living to 85 was a big deal, much less fucking touring.
He's 76.
Who?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul was the young Beatle, that's why.
70 fucking 6.
He
Well,
just
dude,
turned
picture Willie Nelson 85. You remember my grandparents at 85? No, they couldn't
Is he
fuck.
still smoking dope? Tell me he's still smoking
Oh yeah.
dope.
But imagine he lives on a tour bus. He tours at 80 fucking 5.
It's
This is
got to
a-
be. Listen, it's in your. When you're a musician, especially, I think that the day you stop playing music is the day you die.
I think so too. Well, that's why I always say no one retires. from
Nobody
music.
retires.
Yeah.
None of that shit.
Well,
The
people
day-
put on their retirement tour and they come back out like a week later.
Like, I can't imagine not having a sense of humor after I retire.
Yeah.
Like, I'll need my sense of humor.
And then
more
someone's
than
gonna say
ever.
you want to do Friday night, and then you'll do it.
I'll be in an old folks home doing Friday night R-rated show.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Making old ladies get dressed up, asking them about their monkey. You know, it'll be an R-rated night with Uncle Joe. He's still 83, falling asleep on stage, wearing a wig. Like
Yeah,
Sinatra
my
at the
people
end.
tell me, I'll say I want Joey to open up my show, and they'll say he can't do it. He's 84. Then I'll call you myself. And you'll be
Yeah,
there.
I have Lee with a teleprompter, giving me fucking signs from the back, because he'll still be my fucking boy when I'm fucking 80. He'll still be my dog. He'll be about fucking 40.
That's my goal in music. I want that
50.
teleprompter. I don't know why. It's just I get, sometimes you get too into it and you forget your lyrics. I don't need it now, but it would be nice just to have that thing.
Well, is it harder as a musician? Just because, like, we're talking about all these rock stars, and it's not enough to just remember the music. Like, you have to look like you're having fun. Like, you have to
You
perform,
are. Think about Lee. Listen,
and like it's
any day above 50, you're having fun. Like, you've made a constant note that you already made it to 50. So the shit that used to bother me, like the news and politics, you're already having fun. Think about being a musician, having 2 great albums, you break up. Remember when they used to have that show on VH1, Where Are They Now?
Oh, behind the music.
Behind the
yeah.
No, Where Are They Now?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
yeah.
show these guys that had #1 albums and they're painting houses now and shit.
Yeah.
Think about being 58, living on a small fixed income, and getting a call and saying, we're putting the band back together. What are you talking about? I'm sitting at home with a grandchild. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. It's trying to drink some whiskey. Well, I can have a few drinks. That's how it starts. So,
Well, they always say, they pay you to. They don't pay you for the shows. They pay you to travel.
yeah, just getting out of the house. I can't imagine being 70 and still being relevant. Can you imagine being 70 and still doing one casino every month? I mean, you paid $100 to go see that fucking pervert Bill Cosby down in San Diego. And it was 4 fucking
It was
years
before
ago.
I knew he was a pervert.
Yeah, you knew
Oh,
the
I
whole
thought
time.
you.
And I told you not to fucking go down there.
You told me that's why you
You
went.
told me not to go anywhere.
I told you not to go down there and hang out with, give that fucking mutt $100. Even before that, I told you. But you went to see him, and remember he did an hour or something?
He did like 2.5 hours. He did a lot.
If I'm
Sitting down,
if I'm
no over.
70 and somebody wants to give me $5,000 to go do a fucking show,
It was
I'll
early
fucking
too. It was like
jerk off.
5
I'll
p.m.
jerk off all over myself
2.5
and not
hours.
have to depend on Social Security. I could pull off a show or two a month and get crazy and have a shot of tequila and pass out. And Uncle Joey, I could fucking do that shit for $5,000 or $10,000. You know, it's not every week. I don't think I'd do it. I saw Rodney in his 60s, and he was having a rough time already. Like, he was. When did he die, Rodney? Rodney died in 2004. And see how old he was. I did that movie with him like in 2002.
What movie?
Back by Midnight. So he died in 2004. Like
October 5th of 2004. Yeah.
Fucking. Hey, look at it. It was fucking Friday. It was his anniversary.
And he was. It doesn't say. Hold on. He was born in 71.
No, he was not born.
No,
in fucking
21.
70.
21. I'm sorry. 21.
You see what I got to deal with?
God.
21. So that made him 79 plus fucking 4. What's 79 plus 4? 80 fucking 3.
83. Yeah.
He was 83. I did a movie with him when he was 81, and it was a disaster. Like, you had to read the lines for him. You had to yell the lines. He would come in and
Was
go,
it like
lines.
Brando shit where you had to hold the fucking?
No,
paper?
you would read the line to him. He would go, line, and the chick would say, what the fuck is this fat spick doing in my chair? And he would go, what the fuck is this fat spick doing in my chair? Beautiful, Rodney. Take 5. And he would go sit down for 10 minutes, fall asleep, and then get up. He was still smoking weed.
Really? At
He
8?
was still walking around with a robe on with his nuts out, with no underwear out. You know, all that shit. I love all that craziness.
Was he making good money for that movie?
I'm not sure. I'm not. I didn't ask.
But
I didn't care.
he needed it.
Do you understand me? It's like a fucking Leonard Skinner called. It's like the Leonard Skinner band, the original, called you tomorrow and said you were going on the road with them to open up. Do you really give a fuck about anything?
No, I don't. Give
I
a
was
shit.
just happy to be in a Rodney movie. I was happy to walk in a room and to get accepted by one of my fucking idols. When he goes, we gave the role away, but just show up tomorrow. Let's see what's going on. And I went in there and he goes, your name's going to be JoJo. I'll tell you what you're going to do. And he would put me in different scenes. And then I would go, am I working
Well,
tomorrow?
did you know him back then?
No, I knew nobody. I
Oh.
knew nobody. I was at the store on a Saturday night, and these guys were talking to me. And we started talking, and they go, and the guy told me who he was, and that he was he was casting a fucking Rodney movie. And I didn't say 2 words. That's Rodney Dangerfield. That's a different league of comedy. I'm not in that fucking league. And like a week later, I got an audition to go down to Sunset across the street from that fucking strip club on Sunset by the Comedy Store. There's a little casting office in there, and I went in there, and Rodney was in there with the dude and the casting lady. And I just saw Rodney, and I didn't know what to say. Do you want him, or do you want me? 'Cause I want you. I didn't know what to say. And I read the role as funny as I could, and he shook my hand, and I talked to him for a little while, and I walked out, and I was good with that, just meeting the guy. I was pretty happy with that. And my agent called me, he goes, listen, he gave the role away, but he fell in love with you. He just wants you to show up, that they'll come up with something for you.
It's crazy that he was even at the audition.
So for 8 days. In those days, those people used to be in the audition
Oh, yeah?
rooms. Oh, yeah. And you wouldn't know it till you got there to really put a kink in the game. It's not like they call you and they said, you know, like the first time that happened to me, I read for something on a Thursday, and Friday they called me back for Monday morning at 10, and I hosted at the store that night and got fucked up. I did like that liquid shit. What's that liquid shit you drink and you get fucked up?
GHB.
GHB, and I snorted coke, and I ate some pills, and I woke up at 9 in the morning. Thank God I knew my lines verbatim. And they read you on Western Boulevard, which is a shitty neighborhood. Western and Sunset is a shitty neighborhood. There's a little building in there. That's where the callbacks were. And I remember walking in, and Billy Gardell was there. And I shook Billy's hand, what's going on? There was some other guy in there. There was 3 fat fucks. And all of a sudden, Billy went in. When he came out, he was fucking pale. And I go, how'd it go? And he goes, great. And I walked into the room, and it was Gus Van Sant, Travolta. On a Monday morning, when you're hung over on fucking GHB and fucking coke and God knows what else.
Travolta, what year was this?
This had to be 2002, 2001. Huh. I was green as can be.
And what year did you move out here again?
97.
Okay.
I wasn't ready for this movie, but they were looking for one stand-up comedian. They liked me and Billy so much that they said, why can't he just tour with 2 fucking comedians? So I walked into the room. I read with Travolta. I laughed at him a little bit. I laughed at Gus Van Sant. It was a Monday. And that Monday night at the store, I was there, and they told me Gus Van Sant was there to see me. I was like, God damn. So Gus Van Sant showed the fuck up to watch
I wonder what this movie was.
It was called The Jimmy Roselli Story. All right? It was about a guy from Hoboken, New Jersey, a singer, that Sinatra hated and blackballed. And he was way better than Sinatra because Sinatra asked him to sing at his mother's birthday party. And he refused. So Sinatra said, you ain't working anyway.
Am I crazy?
And the guy wasn't allowed to work only at strip clubs and with comics. So he would sing a song in between comics. And they wouldn't even... Sinatra put the hammer on him so bad that the guy couldn't even get a record
Sinatra could
deal.
do... I mean, he was
Yeah.
He was mobbed up.
Yeah, at this time he was just... So Jimmy Roselli would go around Hoboken selling the cars out of the trunk of his car. And people would go, Jimmy, close the trunk. You're embarrassing us selling albums out of the back of your car. So the movie was set. We didn't get an offer yet. I read maybe one other time. I read for Travolta. I read for Gus Van Sant. Then they called me in again, and we read for the producers. And then my manager called me, and he goes, it's you and Gardell. They just haven't made it official yet. You'll probably hear within the next week. So I went to Miami to do comedy. And while I was in Miami, my manager called me and goes, you're bad news. Travolta scratched the film. He's doing that movie about Scientology. Battlefield Galactico or whatever the fuck it was.
So...
I lost that role to fucking...
Well, you didn't lose... The role never even happened.
No, the move. That's why when you said that Showtime did that, that happens all the time. Listen,
Yeah.
do you know how many people I know in this town that got $500,000 in the late 90s from a network? $500,000.
Fuck, I would take... Yeah, I mean...
$500,000 and their show wouldn't get picked up.
Just to sit around.
Just to sit around, get a show run, and come up with an idea, and then they decide they don't want the show. When I did Bronx County, they put $3 million into the fucking pilot. They played no. They paid the director $2 million.
What was that?
Bronx County was a pilot, and it was going to be directed by the guy that directed. He was a big time director, and he acted too. In fact, he played the doctor. He played the intern on The Sopranos. Remember the final year was Johnny Sack was in the hospital. The guy that kept changing the sheets and shit. That was the director that was supposed to direct Bronx County. It was CBS's answer to NYPD Blue. Shot a pilot, fucking advertising. They told me it couldn't miss. Then we got a call one day. It didn't get picked up.
Yeah, that's I always hate it when people say
Listen,
can't miss.
There's no definite.
Well, that's for the people not knowing. I had a deal to make a Wheeler concert movie with Showtime. I signed the fucking deal, and they just called like 8 months ago. Said we ain't doing it. I said, well, I have a contract says it says you are. They're like, it's like, what are you gonna do? You can't make us make it. I was like, that's what pissed me off so much. It's just like, then what the fuck? What's a contract worth? But I know it happens all the time. It's fucking bullshit.
I tell people it's so hard to get all the stars in place to get something done.
Oh yeah.
I love when people say, yeah, we'll write a script. It's a fucking mind fuck. It's a minefield. And when somebody gets something done, when you really ask them, was it all worth it? They'll tell you that the movie was great and it was a great experience. But after they all added up, they they made $8.32 an hour.
Oh yeah, I
From
mean,
all the work they put
when
in,
my-
the 2 years of sweat and writing the
when my
script,
first
the
album
rewrites.
when my first album came out and debuted in the top 10 of the Billboard on the Billboard country charts, I was like old enough to, at least old enough to go, you know what? Let's enjoy this for a second, you know? It's an independent album. It's fucking can't be played on the radio because of the nasty language. I was finally old enough to know, like, to stop complaining for a few seconds, you know? Because it's so hard. You get those things so few times in your life, you know? If ever, you know? I mean, I was thinking about, you know, every time you fly out of Nashville, you've been Nashville quite a bit, and you go to that fucking, there's like a Tootsie's in the airport, and you know, it's like my reminder. I go there and there's a guy playing in a fucking airport bar at fucking 8 in the morning, and it's just a reminder, you know, like I'm on the road weekends on, you know, it just makes me appreciate it, you know, and I see this. I mean, I try, you know, you try not to. I'm not saying I bitch and complain, but occasionally I will bitch and complain. And then I go, there's a guy playing for fucking $6 at an airport Tootsie's, and I'm flying out to LA to do a show, you know, with fucking filthy songs, you know.
It's so weird that it took me about 9 years in comedy to become humble.
Yeah.
And it's such a big step. It's such a big hurdle to overcome. It's such a big hurdle to overcome, to understand that even if I'm a country musician, I don't compete with you. We're allies. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no reason to hate. I can't, if I look at the top 10 and I see that you made it and I didn't, I can't be angry at you.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I used to do that. So
There's so many parts of
there used
being
to be.
an artist.
It used to, in the old days. Let's just say my album came out I didn't have it, but if my album come at a number 9, I was pissed at those other 8 people. But now I can actually enjoy it, which is, I think that's what you're saying, just the fucking maturity of just, you know.
The maturity of an artist is very important.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing you could do is think about what people around you are doing. Kevin Hart said something a couple of weeks ago, and I retweeted it because he hit it right on the nose. I remember being that person. I'm big enough to admit to everybody in this room that up to 2000, because of who I was surrounding myself with at the store, the certain type of comic I had around me, it's not that I was complaining, it was that I was angry and frustrated because I felt I wasn't getting what other people were getting. And that's normal reaction to life. If you're working at fucking Trader Joe's, let's just be honest, we're working at Trader Joe's and you're in charge of produce. You are the one that checks the lemons and the pineapples and all that shit. And all of a sudden there's a job for a control of 6 of the supermarkets, and you're more highly qualified and you don't get it. You're frustrated. I don't care what individual. You'll see it for what it is. You'll throw salt on the matter. It wasn't meant to be. But for a day or two, you're frustrated. And every once in a while, you'll think about it and you'll get frustrated. And in time, you'll realize that God didn't put it in your path for a reason. If that happens in comedy, that must happen in music.
Oh yeah, all the time. You gotta. It's like you gotta. You know, when I just made my new record, you know, and I'm listening back to it, and I have to just enjoy the creation I made, and not think about where's it gonna fucking land on the charts. Is it gonna not sell is it gonna sell more than the last 2? You know, you just never know. But it does, like you said, it's being humble is the key to it, I think.
Humble is the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's waking up in the morning, not worrying about what Lee's got.
Yeah.
I can't worry about what Lee's got. I can't worry about what Joe Rogan has. I can't worry about what anybody has. I got to worry about what I don't have.
Well, the other thing too is there's always gonna be someone bigger than you, no matter what you do.
This can't be a competition. This
Yeah.
has to be a grooming of allies, helping your allies. I was very fortunate when I got here that I met allies. And, you know, listen, I just got a call from this fucking restaurant. They need a comic on Saturday night. It pays $75. I can't do it. But I gave me a name and number. You know how many times that happens? Just because you're a good person. Just because you call people with gigs. Felipe Esparza is a comic that won Last Comic Standing. I could look you in the eye and tell you for years that guy helped feed me. For years. He always had a room once a week. All those Mexicans had a room somewhere. If they didn't have it, they'd find it. Like, I would call Felipe and go, you have anything this week, bro? I have nothing. Give me an hour, fool. There's a gig in El Centro that pays $400 a piece, and there you are Saturday night on your way to San Diego to El Centro, Things just work out, but you have to go over that humble thing and really.
Well,
know.
I've also found it's hard with nowadays with information. Like I could go on my phone right now and look at charts right now and drive myself crazy. It's all in your hand. It drives. You got to stop looking at that shit.
Listen, there's a podcast chart on iTunes.
Yeah.
And for a while I would look at it. And one day I finally realized, why am I looking at that chart? It doesn't matter if I'm number 1. It doesn't matter if I'm number 100. What matters is that I'm consistent, and I know that I'm doing the best podcast I can do. Everything else will come later. As long as you're consistent, you show up to the dance, and you get out what you have to say. That's the most important thing. I don't look at numbers. I never looked at numbers. I don't want to be a part of numbers. I don't want that to be part of who I am. When I got here, I'll never forget somebody coming up to me going, how can you be number 33 out of all Latino comics? Doesn't that bother you? And I'm like, no. That just makes me stronger. I don't even think about that. They had like a Latino top comics guide, and I was like buried. I was like 34 out of 50. And people were like, you've been in movies, aren't you mad at that? Not really. I'm out here surviving. If once you start worrying about that shit, and once you buy into that shit, that's when you go downhill.
Yeah, no, I've seen it with my
downhill.
My friends
You go downhill.
who check the charts on their phone when they're fucking driving. It's like it hasn't changed in the past fucking 5 minutes. You just gotta move on. You just gotta make the best music, best comedy, whatever it is you can make, and then enjoy the work.
It's funny. I shot a special for Netflix. It comes out the 30th, October 30th, and I'm not happy with it.
Why not?
Because I'm not the person I am now. Like, it was so weird. My head was fucked up. I bought it. Do me a favor, Wheeler. Open this fucking door and let Lee's fly out before I kill this fucking thing again. Because Lee's got like 12 flies.
I don't even see a fly
Yeah,
anymore.
he's been flying around the last 4 fucking minutes. And he's annoying me because you bring these fucking flies in all the time.
It's the hummus, man.
It's that fucking hummus neck.
No, explain. When did you shoot this? I'm
I
curious.
shot
about
this June 4th. And in my heart, I just didn't feel like I just didn't
Do you think that's
feel
you being
right.
too hard on yourself, or no?
No.
What do you think it
I
was?
just wasn't feeling what I'm feeling now. I got too much in my head.
But it's still, like you were talking about before. It's all press and it's
Okay.
good press, right?
You're doing a certain type of fucking music right now.
Yeah.
You're doing this R-rated country, which I think is fucking brilliant. I love it.
Thanks, man.
What happens if tomorrow you wake up and start listening to Leonard Skinner in the morning? And by 4 o'clock, you look at your girlfriend, or you can look at me and you go, you know what? This is what I intentionally went out to do in the beginning. And I'm going away from it with this raunchy shit. Let me get back to that. And all of a sudden you put out one of those albums and it doesn't work. Because you got away from your original idea. You're not Leonard Skinner. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
You're Wheeler Walker.
Yeah, no, I wish.
Do you follow me?
Oh yeah.
Before that special, something happened to my head that I wanted to show the people I could write or whatever the fuck it was, and it didn't pan out for me.
Well, I
Instead
mean,
of being Joey Diaz, I became somebody. I tried to be somebody
but,
else.
did you? Are you saying you did it clean? You mean?
No. I didn't do it clean. It was something that did not let me be myself. I don't know what it was. No matter how.
But describe
hard
it to me,
tried.
like content wise. What was different about it? Because I had you open for me, and you fucking killed everybody.
My heart wasn't in it. My heart and my head and my soul were not connected that night. When you do comedy, all those things have to be connected. And I think because it was commercialized, or maybe because I choked, I just don't know what it was. From the time I got off the fucking plane, it just didn't feel right. From the time it's like when I told you the other day when Conor McGregor was just sitting on the floor, thinking about all the things he did wrong over the last 2 years. That's what you're thinking about when you get beat up. I remember getting on the plane the next day and it all coming to me. Like, I was so disappointed with my performance on both shows. Like, I was forgetting material, missing beats, and missing shit that I would do just as a professional I know to do. I missed it. I missed the marks in certain points. And it was nobody to blame but me.
But here's the question for you: if this comes out and people just tell you how fucking awesome it is, you think it'll change your perception of that night?
No, I don't listen to people.
Okay.
I've never been one of
'Cause
those.
you're gonna be exposed to a lot of new people who are probably gonna love it.
I love. You know when you suck, Wheeler.
Oh yeah,
You know
Yeah.
a night when you go up on stage, and this guy missed his chord. The drum is fucking slipping. You're slipping.
Well, that's
organ
different.
player's
When
slipping.
it's different when I fuck up. That's when I get pissed.
But when you and then you get off stage, what do people tell you? Man, that was the best performance I
Yeah.
ever seen in my life. And you're like, yeah, whatever. So you start doubting them. You're like, these fucking liars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a fucking liar. Just tell me I bombed and ate a bag of dick, and we'd be just as good. I don't listen to that stuff. Like, I don't.
Well, I think it's good to not, especially nowadays. Like I said, with the fucking, if I wanted to right now, I could read 1,000 people telling me that I fucking suck on the internet. It's just not worth listening.
Listen, you're not. The thing that makes this world so special is that we all don't like vanilla ice cream. We all don't like vanilla ice cream. Can you imagine if we all loved vanilla ice cream? You know, when you put on November Rain, it's the first video to hit over 2 million fucking hits. It also has 200,000 dislikes. Go ahead, go look at.
I guarantee you, there's
Yeah.
people who listen to Stairway to Heaven and go, I don't know.
No, go look at "Blow Up the Outside World" by Soundgarden. It's got 1 point something million hits and 100,000 thumbs down. Thank God. Not everybody likes Bad Motorfinger.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes you, and that's what's great about this.
Yeah.
There's enough to go around.
If I made these kind of albums and everyone liked me, that's when I knew I'd be in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, the Soundgarden Blow Up the Outside World, that one
Yeah.
has 8.5 million views, 42,000 likes, and 1.1 thousand dislikes.
1,000 people said that. fucking
1,100,
sucked.
yeah.
1,100 people didn't like "Blow Up the Outside World."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So-
but Bad Motorfinger, you can't make a better record. than
No, but my point is, it's not about records. You know, it's about fucking, you're not going to like everything.
Yeah.
I looked at a Beatles song that was on there one night, and it had like, 100,000 dislikes. It was like a stupid Beatles song. I don't know what the fucking song was. "Happiness is a Warm Gun," or whatever the fuck it was.
That's a
You
great
know?
song.
Yeah, I think it's a great song. So that's what makes us special, that we all
Oh,
don't
people, don't forget, people protested the Beatles. Elvis tried to get them banned. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Elvis saw them. Like you said, everyone, even at at the top, they're always looking down. Elvis saw them as because Elvis was the king. He saw them as a threat and tried to get them banned from America. He's like, I know a way to stay the number one. Don't let them in the fucking country. He tried to get them banned. The Beatles didn't know about it till they broke up years later. But yeah, he was like, even being at the top, he didn't give a shit. He didn't want any fucking competition.
I read the Zeppelin book, The Hammer of the Gods.
Yeah.
And there's a chapter in there where fucking Led Zeppelin I think they were playing in Memphis, and they got a call that fucking Elvis wanted to see him. And they went to Elvis's house, and Elvis introduced them to Lisa Marie and the baby, and they talked, and I think him and Jimmy Page traded watches. They traded watches. He told me he was a fan of theirs, so I don't know. I know he was a fan of Led Zeppelin.
Well, I mean, he was. I think he was friendly.
And they were
with
the
Beatles.
Kings.
Oh yeah, but I think this was right. It was competition time. It was the first artist that actually challenged him at on the charts. I think is what did it. By the way, I heard a great Elvis story, which is I recorded my new record that's coming out in November at RCA Studio A, which is where Dolly recorded Jolene, Waylon recorded there, Elvis recorded there. I mean, all the big boys. Is probably one of the great studios left in America. And someone was telling me a story about how Elvis had just met Lisa Marie, and she wanted to see him record a song. He was doing one of his big with the orchestra and everything, and he wanted to impress her, but he'd already recorded the song. So he told the engineer, producer, and the band, he goes, "This girl I really like's coming in, so let's just pretend. Because the producer goes, we nailed it yesterday. We don't have to do it again." He goes, no. Let's just. Elvis goes, play it, pretend like we're playing it. We'll just play the track, lip sync basically, and you guys just follow my lead. And Lisa Marie comes in, and Elvis goes, he's lip syncing a song they recorded the fucking day before. He goes, like telling the bass player, No, play it like this, and tell him like the violin player. No, like as if he's running the show, which he wasn't the day they recorded. The producer's running the show. But he's trying to impress her. So he recreated the whole fucking in this studio where I recorded my new record. He recreated the whole song as if they were recording it then to impress Lisa Marie.
When you walk into these studios and they tell you the history of this, does something happen to you?
Oh yeah, you feel it. You feel it. You're just like, first of all, I mean, your first gut instinct is, what the fuck am I doing here? And your second instinct is like, there is, like, rooms do have like a soul. You know, like you can feel, you know, Waylon in there.
You really believe that?
I do. I think
I believe it too.
I think studio. I mean, not just regular. I don't think like my parents' bedroom does, but I think recording studios. I mean, Chet Atkins built this studio for the Everly Brothers back in the day. You know, this is a historic studio. The studio next door to it is a museum, and this is still a working studio. You know, so just to know I'm standing where Elvis stood and singing. It's gonna affect your performance no matter what you think, you know.
I was watching something and the guy was talking about like being in the room where somebody recorded. I don't know what the fuck it was, and touching the walls and feeling the energy. And I believe that with some comedy clubs, that you
Probably,
walk in
yeah.
there and you could smell the comedy in the air. Like you're like, I'm gonna do okay tonight.
So that's the thing too with these old studios is they don't really redo them. I mean, it's like the same floor, it's the same walls, it's the same whatever. You know, it's just like Waylon really stood here. Elvis sat in this fucking chair or walked up these stairs or whatever it is. You know. So
no, I think that history when you walk, like whenever I walk in a place and I look at the walls and I see who else performed there, like I don't know what I feel. I feel like I don't even want to think about it.
Well, yeah, recording music is just like a lost art form. The act of knowing where to put the microphones on it, because everything's so fucking computer. Lee probably knows about it. Everything's so computerized and sampled. So to get a good drum sound and know how to mic it and shit, like those good rooms that were drums, like where John Bonham sounded so fucking good. Those rooms don't exist anymore because they tore them down to build a fucking Kmart or whatever, you know. So when you get into a room like that, it really, you know. You hear the drums the way, fucking, when you're standing in the room where Dolly heard the playback of Jolene and goes, you know, that's the take. It does something to you, I think.
No, it's very historic. I like performing at the Comedy Store, knowing that Richard used to perform on that fucking.
Yeah, I think that would be the one. I mean, because he was.
That was like when I first realized it. I realized it on
especially
stage
coming from Jersey, I'll bet. I mean, especially me coming from Kentucky. If I'd known that I was gonna, you know,
especially coming from anywhere.
Yeah.
Coming from anywhere. If you're a female singer from Minneapolis, and all of a sudden you're on a stage, and they said that this is the same stage fucking Madonna did, like a virgin. It does something to you. Coming from anywhere, you know, when you walk into a room that somebody else was there that was famous or whatever, and there you are, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, maybe I'm halfway here. You know, that's what you think, that you're halfway there. You're like, maybe I'm halfway here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I always think about. Like when I was standing, like I said, where I was standing singing where Elvis used to sing, I was like thinking about back to when I was playing my friend's garage, you know, and trying to get a decent fucking recording. It's like, how the fuck did I get here? Just, you know, the whole journey. It all comes. It affects the performance too. It probably affects your performance on stage at the Comedy Store. Yeah.
I think about, like, before I go on stage, I get anxiety.
Yeah, but a good anxiety.
It's a good anxiety. It's the fuel inside of me. And sometimes I'll go snap out of it. You know, Richard Pryor was in here, or Kennison was in here on a Grammar Blow, and he pulled it off. You could pull this off, you know. I always think of Kennison when I go down there, and I think of Richard Pryor, and I think of Paul Mooney when I go down there, and that's what I think of. You know, I think of those things before I go on stage, and it calms me down, and it
you know
makes
what I mean.
I'm
not I'm not the obviously a comedy guru, but I watched the old Richard Pryor, and to me that could have come out today. You know,
the problem with what's going on today is specials are being shot. You read Keith Richards' book?
Yeah.
he did the chapter on live albums.
Yeah.
Why people don't make live albums no more, because technology took over so much that we can't make a live album no more. They have forgotten how to wire drums.
Yeah. Well, that also
They
there's
really do.
Why make a live album when they're lip syncing?
Yeah, they
you
don't
know?
know. They don't know anything. You know, when you watch a Lenny Bruce special from the '60s, watch that special. That camera don't move. That camera has Lenny from 3 inches above his knee to 2 inches above his head, and 6 inches from every shoulder. That's it.
Well, nowadays I go on Netflix and there's there's 800 comedy specials. I don't know what the fuck.
You
to
don't
watch.
see a guy laughing, going back. You don't see the back of the studio. You don't see the long shot. It focused on Lenny.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere along the line, that feeling went away. They wanted to start getting side shots and behind you shots, and all those shots are great. But to me, it takes away, at least from my thing. What I do, I can't do on tape. I've noticed it that I'm better live than when I'm taped. That's why for years I would never send my tape out. Way before any of this shit happened, I wouldn't send my tape out.
Yeah.
Unless you saw me at the store live and you came up to me and said, hey, I want you to play my club, I wouldn't play your club. If it meant sending you
Well,
a tape,
Dylan still says that he goes, the albums were just blueprints. He goes, if you want to hear those songs, the only way to they were meant to be played live. They were not meant to be
Live.
recorded. He's like, they were recorded because that was the best of business, and I have to make records. But he's like, you want to hear the song? I mean, not now, but he can barely fucking sing anymore. But all his songs, he says, they were constructed to be performed. You know,
it's crazy how they've just gotten crazier and crazier with the specials and what realms of the special they shoot. And I've always believed just to keep.
So when you were doing
camera.
that special, did the
You don't have no fucking say. You can tell them 80 fucking times. They don't give a fuck.
But did it throw
They'll
you?
come to you and tell you how they got this camera with a hinge on it. I don't want the camera with the hinge on it. I want one fucking guy with a camera straight ahead, taping 6 inches up, like I just told you. But they don't listen. Because everybody wants that shot of the cigarette in the ashtray. It's fucking avant-garde. That's not what I'm about.
Yeah.
So for years, like in 2004, a trend started in this town that even the industry didn't want to come out and see you. There was a time when you call an agent and go, hey, man, Wheeler, how you doing? Joey Diaz. Hey, I heard of you. What's going on? Nothing, man. I'm doing a show at the Comedy Store tonight at 10 o'clock. I just wanted to invite you to come see you. That was great. People will at least come down and then you call them the next day and they go, you were a little rough on me. I don't know what I can do with you. Then it got to the point where they would tell you, send me a tape. And I go, no, you're in Beverly Hills. Come watch me. I got to that point. Like, I got to that point early. 2003, I was like, I'm not sending no tapes. I think in my whole 27-year career, I think I sent out 3 tapes. And one of them didn't have anything on it. I just wanted to fuck with the guy. And he gave me the job. Because when you go get paid in the comedy room, you'll see that the guy that's paying you, behind them, there's 1,000 tapes with dust on it. They don't watch those tapes.
I did that too because now after the success of the first 2 records, some of the bigger record labels came along. They're like, "We want to meet with you, so come on down to a show." Never fucking show.
Yeah, no,
they don't fucking
no.
show.
You know, Led Zeppelin got signed to Atlantic, and they never saw Atlantic. Atlantic never saw Led Zeppelin.
I believe it.
And if you read the Man Who Led Zeppelin, the Peter Grant book,
Yeah.
Atlantic signed Zeppelin without seeing him, gave him a huge advance bonus, and gave him points that were never heard of in the music industry at that time. Read that book by Peter Grant.
Oh, I want the big giant manager.
The big
guy?
giant manager.
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, like I was just saying. I mean, after the success of the first 2 records, all these big labels were coming out, and they wanted me to meet. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna meet you for? I'm having success. I'm with my own label. How much money can you give me? You can't give me. There's no way I make. I don't want to give numbers, but 90% of my album sales. You can't. What are you gonna do? Get me on the radio? You can't say fuck on the radio. It's a waste of my goddamn time. So they would say.
But you're on Sirius, right?
Like, I'm on Sirius.
Yeah. Somebody said they heard you on Sirius. You're on
Oh,
Sirius,
yeah, I mean,
which is still fucking good.
I'm still.
You're halfway there.
But nowadays, but even you got Sirius, you got YouTube, you got Spotify. They don't need that. I don't need a fucking record label, and that record label's gonna spend $1 million on fucking advertising that I don't want, and my first $1 million is fucking gone. Just do it myself. Yeah, I don't need those fuckers.
That's what the beauty about today is.
Yeah.
That if you're a real musician and you really just want to get your music out, you get it out.
You can. If it's good.
If you want to be a
you know
fucking
what?
star, I know you have a different plan. That's not your plan. But if you love what you do,
But if you want to be a star, you got to go with the big label.
You
I
gotta
just
go
want to
with the
make
big
a,
label.
I just want to make music and make a living. I can do it. Yeah.
That's it. But if you, I mean, listen, there's both ways. You go with a label, or you could put your own shit out. Today is what I'm saying. It's not what it was 20 years ago. It was not what it was. Nobody's holding you back anymore. There's no reason to hold you back. Your music is that good. Fucking get a YouTube video and let's go.
If it's that good, people
Get
are
it
going
on
to
a
hear
camera.
it.
Yeah, get it on a
But
fucking camera and put it on YouTube.
But 20 years ago, I mean,
No,
you couldn't.
you couldn't do shit.
You needed the label,
You needed the label.
but now you don't need it. So
You know,
why
I
do
think
it?
about comedy. I think about what the internet has done with comedy, and how Comedy Central now nobody even watches it because number one, they got lied to for 20 years. They didn't give us the best comedians that were out there. They gave us what they thought. They gave us the ones that had the look, the one that had the tattoo, the one that had the funny haircut. They didn't give you the pound per pound funny people. So they lost credibility over the years. I sit here sometimes at night and I'm listening to the Cars or whatever the fuck I'm listening to, B-52s, and I'm digging what I'm listening to, but I'm also thinking about how about all the good bands I never got a chance to listen to because a label didn't sign them.
Well, but you and I are more. But the difference is too is like you and I, we seek out this stuff. Most fans just only watch what MTV play, you know, what the radio plays. So you and I at least seek out fucking, you know, Iggy Pop or whatever it is, or fucking Black Sabbath.
I have listened to everything.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, if I don't play the fucking videos, I don't like it. It's like broccoli. I don't like it. I'm 55. I already know I don't like it. I don't care if you marinate it with ginger sauce. I don't care if you put pussy juice on it. I don't like fucking broccoli, okay? And at this age, I know what I like and what I don't like. And let me tell you something. Before I was 16, 17, I was very partial to music. When I moved to Colorado was when I let my mind wander. And that was the best thing I ever did. I listened to everything I could.
Yeah, you told me last time that you didn't really dig the Beatles at first.
No. Growing up, you know why I didn't dig the Beatles? I didn't dig the Beatles the same reason why I don't like Bruce Springsteen. Too many people liked them.
Yeah.
It drove me crazy.
See, I've stopped doing that because my thing is I don't want to base my decision on what I listen to on other people, whether it's a big crowd or a small
Listen,
crowd.
50% of people have to assume listen to music their friends listen to and say it's great just to fit in.
Yeah.
50% of people. I saw it growing up. To be cool, you got to be at a concert, whatever. 50% can tell you what the fuck they're going to listen to and what the fuck they don't want to listen to. They don't give a fuck whether your feelings get hurt or not. You know, Jim Florentine sat across from me. You don't know how many parties we went into. Me and my buddies just took the fucking jukebox and threw Springsteen out of there. We don't want to hear Springsteen. In Jersey.
Huh, that's
Living in
crazy.
Jersey. Northern New Jersey, we don't want to hear no fucking Springsteen. You better put Black Sabbath on that motherfucker. You know, Beatle fans always held the trump card for years.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's different
couldn't-
for me because I was,
Yeah,
wasn't
you
around.
couldn't. Up to 79, you couldn't win an argument. Bro, Van Halen's first album, have you heard it? Fucking tremendous. Eruption. Eddie Van Halen's great, but there was always one asshole that would go, psst, wait till the Beatles get back together. And he trumped you. You're like, you're right. Wait till the Beatles get back together. I'm fucked. When John Lennon got shot, people were jumping up and down the streets because of the fucking Beatle fans, because they didn't want to hear that no more. For 9 years, all they heard was Beatle fans going, yeah, Led Zeppelin's good, but psst, wait till the Beatles get back together. Psst, wait till
Is
the
that
Beatles.
really what they said?
All the time. There were just idiots that were walking around. And I liked the Beatles. Like, I liked Help. That was the only early shit I liked. Then from Revolution on, a Revolver.
Yeah.
Revolver, when they went to India and hung out with the Hindu and they did acid and they went fucking bananas. They all started wearing sandals and playing that fucking guitar. Then they
The
did
sitar, yeah.
Then they did the fucking album with the Stones. A lot of people don't know about. They did like a co-album. Fuck. Jimmy Page is on that album.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
I know
Stones.
the live thing. Yeah, yeah.
No. This is 66, 67. In fact, you know who gave me the CD? Eddie bought it for me. Eddie called me one day from Amoeba, and he goes, "What? Do you need anything?" And I said, "See if they got that." And he found it for $9.99. I almost jumped out the building.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
And there's a Stone album, fuck, I can't wake my buddy up. He's an engineer. There's a Stones album.
One Hit? Is that the name of the song?
No. That's 1990 or 94. Try the Wind. Walk around the peaceful city. Type in Peaceful City with a capital Rolling Stones. See what you get. If you look at the one that said when the Beatles put the one with the P out and everybody thought Paul McCartney was dead. Now you know all about that stuff.
Yeah.
They were playing with white people worse than Conor McGregor was. They were telling people that fucking Paul McCartney was dead and still releasing albums. They walked across the street barefoot at Abbey Road, which meant that they buried you in a casket barefoot. All of them had shoes on except Paul. They were doing some fucking with some fucking people. But that one album, what did it come up with?
No, could it be Just a Shot Away, Peace, Love, and Tragedy?
No.
No, then no. It doesn't.
Nothing for the Rolling. Are you on YouTube?
I'm on.
Go on
Google.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm
I
fucking
thought-
talking
I
about.
thought it
We're
was
looking
an
about
album.
music and he's fucking Googling.
That's,
No. Now we're going to hear this shit now for an hour. Walk around the peaceful city. Something like that. Rolling Stones with a capital R.
has capital R. Elvie the God?
No.
Beast of Burden?
No. None of that shit. I'll find it on my own and report back to the commissioner.
Yeah,
a
what was
weird
this?
album. There's a weird album they have. It's the Stones. Jimmy Page played on it. A couple people played on it. I think fucking John Lennon played on it. And it's got some great fucking, like 2 or 3 great Stone songs, and nobody knows about this album. It's like Made in the Shade. Nobody knows about Made in the Shade. One of their best albums by the Stones.
I never listened to that one. Yeah, I mean I know it, but
Yeah,
I don't.
Made in the Shade is fucking. Oh shit. Made in the Shade is one of those albums that nobody knows about. I thought I had it here. It's a Grateful Hits album that nobody, they slipped it in there. Now I can't remember the name of the song. It's going to keep me up all fucking night. But anyway, that's what I think about now. I think about it as a comic that, yeah, I got to listen to Leonard Skinner, and I got to listen to Molly Hatchet, and I got to listen to fucking Led Zeppelin.
Did you see Skinner?
We Love You?
No.
You never saw him?
No. They were about, and I could lie to you and tell you I had tickets for the Garden. My friend Steve Avillo, who I would call for this fucking song, he went. He had tickets for Leonard Skinner and Ted Nugent at the Garden right before they were going, and they were about to switch him anyway.
Remember last time I was here, you played me Skinner to open up for the Stones, and they fucking slaughtered him.
Yeah, and then did you watch the documentary?
I thought it was
Showtime?
great. Yeah.
Well, when they said they beat the Stones up and they walked on the tongue.
Yeah.
When they walked on
That's
the
that
tongue,
was the one rule, right?
mentally don't walk on the tongue, and they beat the fuck out of the Stones.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I love I love when you drop by with the Elvis stories,
got
and the
to-
fucking
yeah, I mean,
stories
just
from the
but-
South and shit like that. So you're where Friday night? You're in Tampa?
Thursday night Atlanta, this Thursday. Friday night Tampa. Saturday West Palm Beach. So we're in West Palm Beach same night, right?
So I'm in West Palm Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday if I get done early, I can come
Yeah,
check it
just
out.
call me because we just missed each other somewhere else also.
Yeah, I forget what.
Somebody not Nashville. Somebody said that you talked to Philly somewhere the last couple of weeks. I was in Philly, Boston.
Yeah, I was just in Philly. That was what it was.
You were in Philly. Well, I was.
No, I was in
Philly.
I was in Pittsburgh. I think I can't remember. Nowadays, it probably happens to you. I don't even know where the fuck.
So are
I
you
am.
going out just with your band or just Kid Rock for right now?
We do both.
Go to Wikipedia and look up Rolling Stones albums. That's the easiest way
Greatest
we're going to
list.
find it. That's the easiest way. And I'll tell you the name of this fucking album. And it's the most obscure album. And it's got 2 songs in it that are fucking phenomenal.
What year do you think it was?
66.
It's but it's credit to the Stones.
Yeah.
Aftermath?
No. Give me my glasses.
Out of Our Heads?
Give me the fucking computer. Get out of the way. God damn it. Out of my
It
heads.
doesn't move Jesus Christ.
No, I'm looking it up.
Keep going. Are these albums? The other way. All right, keep going
Yes,
the other way.
albums.
There you go.
Make
Slow
sure.
down. Keep going. All right, the one album that I'm talking about that they all did together. Keep going. Keep going. The Satanic Majesty.
Oh, there's Satanic Majesty's Request.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Is that what you're talking about? No.
That's one album. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. No. Yeah, it doesn't even come out as a Stones album. That's how fucking. Keep going the other way now. Because the other way, it's Some Girls, it's only rock and roll, Go Tetsu.
Some Girls, great record.
Some Girls is the best they have. Beggar's Banquet, Between the Buttons, Aftermath. Keep going. Out of Our Heads. Keep going. 12.5. That's it?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, no.
Can I give you a couple underrated Stones records? Black and Blue is really good.
Tremendous album. One of my all-time favorites.
Emotional Rescue underrated.
Tremendous. And you know what else? Album I used to run to every fucking day when I got out of prison was the one that came out with an 81.
Tattoo You?
Tattoo You.
That's a great one too.
That's
yeah.
a great fucking album. Neighbors and all that shit on
But
there.
the Stones, up until like Steel Wheels, they were fucking great. Remember that Steel Wheels? I didn't like that shit.
Steel Wheels was 91.
Something like that. Yeah. Remember
Between a Rock and a Hard Place.
Yeah,
something
that
like
sucked,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's. Hey, listen, man. 30 fucking years, you're gonna have a couple bad nights.
Oh, exactly. I mean,
You know, you're gonna have a couple bad nights.
Listen. I'm not. You're not gonna hear me arguing about the Rolling Stones. You know, I mean, when you put out 20 great albums, what do you got? There's nothing left in the tank.
There's nothing left in the tank, and they're still. Listen, you know, watching these older guys go out now, I never dreamed that when I was a kid this wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Kenny Rogers, you know, with the white hair, but to think that Guns N' Roses, you know, and they're not even old. They're in their 50s. They're not even old.
And I heard they sound great. I didn't see the.
I listened to the show from the Forum. My neighbor is Slash's godmother. She calls him Saul.
Oh yeah.
And she invited me. They had a box, and I think we did a podcast. And when I went home that night, I listened to the last concert from Sirius. What I had paid, if I would have paid $600 for those tickets, I would have been pissed. Unless
Why?
Kishi was with me, because they didn't work. To me, I didn't want to pay $6 or $4.
Well, yeah. There's ain't no
Slash carried the whole fucking.
Ain't no
concert.
show worth $600.
Yeah, Slash carried the whole fucking concert. Slash was fucking phenomenal.
I remember I paid $20 to see Nirvana. I'm like, is it really worth 20? I mean, remember those old days? It was
Dog,
just
I paid $15 to see Prince, Sheila E., and Nucleus. It's gonna be tough to get me to lift a rock for fucking. I paid $15.50 for Pink Floyd The Wall the first night. It's gonna be tough to get
15,
Uncle
yeah.
Joey to fucking lift a rock for $3. It's just tough. It just doesn't equate for me.
I'm with you, man. It's
And
crazy.
I love bands. I love music. You know, it just doesn't fucking equate for me. So I just.
There's no show worth 600 fucking bucks.
I think, you know, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, Cat Stevens did the whatever theater. Tickets were $300 fucking dollars. That means I take a date as a civilian. That's $600. $600.
Take a date, dinner, all that shit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a grand. It better be a
That's
hell of a
$900.
fucking night. Yeah.
So, you know, I see it, but I don't see it. I see the value for the nostalgia. You know, these bands are going on the weekends, these black bands from the 80s. They do like 22 bands. Each band does 3 songs, you know. I'm So Into You, fucking Kid and Play. Those tickets are like $60. Everybody makes a fucking living.
Yeah, and
Everybody makes a living.
that's what I dug about. Kid Rock did a tour a few years ago where every seat in the place was $20. And you can make a lot of money if you sell 20,000 tickets at $20.
But it's not. Listen, you go around the corner here on Lancashire. There's a place, a health food place. You go in there, you pay $10 for an acai bowl. Okay? It's a good acai bowl, but it's $10. You're not paying for the acai bowl. You're basically paying for the guy's rent.
Yeah.
Somebody told me if you sell out the garden at like $69.95 tickets, you walk away with $100,000. It's not a lot of money when you play the garden. You got to pay union dues. You got to pay everybody in
Well,
Greece.
they
everybody in that fucking building.
they think they're doing you the favor.
Yeah. So like, people think that when you play the garden, you walk out of there with $2 million fucking dollars, unless your tickets are $300, $400. Then you know, Billy Joel does the residency there. But if you did a show at the garden for $60 and sold it out 18,000 people, after the house charges and the Union.
Well, I was gonna go see Elton's doing his farewell tour in Nashville. 2 tickets, 500. It was for 2 tickets, $500. I'm gonna have to tell him farewell some other time.
I'll go home and put on fucking the album with fucking It's a Little Bit Funny or it's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, play this.
I took a hit of acid and committed to go see Pink Floyd with Roger Waters, and I wasn't going $1 over 200. Me and Ari and Chris Neff went all the way down there, and me and Ari are Jews to the end. We looked at each other and we're like, we're not paying 300.
Is that? Oh, you talking about
That's a true story.
people selling outside?
Yeah, that's a true story. Me and Ari took a hit of blood acid before the baby was born, and we took the train right from here in Lancashire, and we went downtown. We ended up getting so high, we went to, what's the place that has the roast beef dip that everybody talks about? Philippe's.
Yeah.
We went into Philippe's and we ordered food, and we were too high to eat it. We just looked at each other.
Probably better money spent in the.
We went. We took a train back to my house, and we watched some movie on HBO, and everybody left at 1. We were tripping our balls off. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I just don't want to see it. If you pay one time, you go to a sporting event, I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about you, your wife, and your kid. $50 to park to go to a Rams game. And you got to walk 1.5 miles. I walk 1.5 miles. I'm not paying to get to that. That's just ridiculous. The prices of tickets are insane across the board for any sporting event. I'm not thinking about me. I'm not thinking about Brad Pitt. I'm thinking about the guy that works 60 hours a week to support.
Well, yeah, that's why
I've
spent a lot of time making sure my ticket prices are down. On my
I
own,
fucking fight with them every week.
my own shows I can do.
I will never go to Foxwoods again. I'll never go to Foxwoods again.
I don't know what that is.
Foxwoods is a theater I just played in Boston. You know why? It's a $16 surcharge when you buy a ticket.
$16, yeah, that's crazy.
I don't see $1 of that. So you don't make enough money. You're gonna charge $16 fucking dollars. So that means my tickets are $27 plus $16. That's not what I'm about.
Yeah.
I put my tickets at a certain price, so the blue collar guy could come. When I see these people charging $35 and $69, that's great. That's great, but you're pricing yourself out.
I'm with you, man.
I don't need to make that money. I don't need to do it. I want you to
I
come
fought.
see me.
I fought a year ago. Was when I fought when they started making my tickets over $15. Like, I'm not worth it. It's not worth it yet. And then they just, but then the fees come in all of a sudden.
Bro, they kill you with fees. That's not fair to us as the artists. We don't see $1 of that fee. Plus, you're selling drinks, bitch, and you're selling food, and you're getting money at the door. I get a percentage of it. What the fuck are you? When does it end? So you're taking a percentage, you're taking the restaurant, and now you're charging the poor fucking kid $16 to download a fucking ticket. I can't do business with you.
You know what I used to do for a while?
So I ask now. After the Foxwoods, I ask now. What's the service charge and what's all the bullshit? If it's too much, I don't want to pay. You're going to give me 50% of it? Then charge whatever the fuck you want. But if you're not going to give me a taste of it, this goes in your pocket, I'm not.
I don't know if they do that
you.
for. I guess comedians' merch isn't as big a deal, but what they do, they take a piece of my T-shirt.
They take a piece of everybody's merch.
But I started doing it. I started playing places. I would go. Before the show, I go, bring me the man. I want to talk to the manager. I go, here's the deal. What do you take of my merch? Sometimes they go 10%, 20%,
15%. Yeah.
And I go, here's the deal. If I break the bar record tonight, I ain't paying it. He shakes my hand, and at the end of the night, they count up the bar. And I go, you ever made this much money from alcohol? And he goes, no, it's a new bar record. I go, then I'm taking my money. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
First of all, there's a lot of money in merch. That's another thing I overstep. I don't want to bring merch. I'm happy that you paid the $25 just to get in.
Yeah, but music you kind of do it, yeah.
I also want you to come over to me and shake my hand and tell me you listen to the podcast. Tell me that I sucked. I see people that won't walk over because they're embarrassed because they don't want to pay $20 for a T-shirt. I don't ever want that to be the feeling in between these and the people that come see me. I'd rather go out there, take a picture for free, and shake your hand. Even if you come up to me and tell me the podcast sucks and I suck. I'd rather that than have a T-shirt in front of me. Number two, it takes away from my focus in between shows. I got to talk to more people and I don't want to do that. I want to be focused for both shows. I don't want to worry about an extra large shirt. Go looking for a 2XL. I don't want to do that. That's not what I get. I'm not a salesman. I'm a comic.
Yeah.
When I was snorting coke and I was a dirty fiend, I didn't sell nothing. I'm not going to start selling shit now. I create a playing field that's level. I don't pay for nothing to absorb, nothing out of my range. I don't expect you to either. I know what I'm worth. And sometimes I cut my own throat by not charging a lot, but I know what I'm worth. I want you to be able to come see me instead of you going, Jesus, because I think about it, even when they say $35, I'm thinking $70 fucking dollars. That's without drinks, that's without your sushi, that's without the Ubers, that's without the babysitter. So
Well, I fight album price all the time too because
Yeah.
iTunes sells them for $9.99. I go, it's a fucking file. I go, make it $5.99, make it $7.99. You know?
I got them on that. What do we got them on payloads? $2?
Yeah.
I've always believed that the art first comes first and the money comes second. Once you put that order, that's where it all goes down ship. And that's what these agents try to do to you. They want you to put the money before the art. I make 3 times more money if I play Cobb's than I play the Punchline. Where do I play, Lee?
Punchline.
I'm not going to give you a good show at Cobb's.
Yeah.
It's none of your business, the difference, but it's substantial. And I refuse to do it because the first thing on my list
Because unlike most people, you give a fuck.
at 55, no, I was giving a fuck too much, and now I don't give a fuck on stage, but I still give a fuck about the family we've created.
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
want to insult anybody. When I come to your restaurant, I'll pay whatever you want me to pay, but on the right, I'm stupid. Like, there's a place in Hollywood that they sell hot dogs. I'm a fat fuck. This is 20 years ago. I love hot dogs. I remember taking my wife there one day on a date, and she said to me, I go, how good was that fucking hot dog? She goes, it was pretty good, but 2 hot dogs, a lemonade, and fries, $28. And that didn't even dawn on me. I was like, holy shit. That was $14 a piece for a hot dog, fries, and a lemonade.
yeah, it used to be $1.99.
I'll never go in there again. And I never went back in there, even though they did have the best fucking chili. You never
Which
had-
place is this?
This is in Holly. I don't even think they're still there.
Okay.
They had this Bavarian beer chili that they would put on the hot dogs with raw onions. Your dick would just squirt when you bit into it. As soon as you bit into the hot dog, your dick would just go, and you feel.
Well,
like a
that's
little,
as hot dog. To me, that's worth $20.
I was
my
gonna say
God.
that's $14,
And
yeah.
let me
Yeah.
tell you something. The lemonade was handmade. It wasn't that fucking minute-made shit.
Well, any hot dog that makes me jizz my pants, I'll pay fucking
And
30.
the French fries were waffle fries, and they give them to you with alioli mustard, like this red shit. Lee, you have no idea. It was the home of the fat fuck, and I avoided it because it was $14 for hot. There's a place in Seaside.
You just woke up Lee with that
I know,
story.
and we're doing another bong hit after this. There's a place in Seaside Park, New Jersey. I used to go to, down the block from my brother's house. They gave you 10 Sabret hot dogs loaded for $20. Lee, do you know I would go? That's the first thing I'd do. I'd go down and get 10 for 10.
What do you do with 10 hot dogs? I guess you.
I bring them back. I look at them. I investigate what's in them. What do you think I do, Wheeler
you,
Walker?
you eat 10 hot dogs?
Right there, standing there, 2 at a time in front of the guy with 2 cans of Coke. $24 and a $10 tip because the fucking chili was tremendous today.
You can't eat 10 hot dogs.
Motherfucker, I'll take that skinny Chinese goy and I'll take his
Yeah,
ass
we
to the
gotta.
hoop.
I want to see 4th
Let me
of
tell you
July. I
something.
want to see you on
Let me
that
tell you
fucking-
something. No, I can't. Not anymore. But I could go. You give me 200, 300 milligrams of edibles, and I starve for 3 or 4 hours. I'll have a hot dog. I'll have a fucking hot dog eating contest. I'll eat that Chinese kid, and I won't dump the bread in the fucking water. That's one thing. I could fuck up some hot dogs, Jack. When I was a kid, that's how I built my immune system. When I came from Cuba, I believed the more hot dogs you ate, the more American you were. So I would eat hot dogs every fucking opportunity I get. In those days, they weren't Arabs selling hot dogs. They were regular white people, a little dirty with dirty fingers and no gloves. You could see when they get your hot dog out of the water, the oil would slip from their fingers. I didn't give a fuck. That's who I am today. That's why I'm alive at 55. Because of those dirty water dogs in Jersey made with that Hudson River water. You could still see like a little chicken bone floating in it or a
They
piece.
just got the water from the river?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Where do you think the tap water's from? Where do you think that comes from the glaciers in Buffalo? That's tap water from fucking Jersey City that glows in the dark. You put water on at night, leave it in your bathtub, you walk in there in the middle of the night, you don't have to turn the light on. You can just fucking pee from the light that comes from the fucking water. Where do you think people in Jersey got cancer from? The water. I remember being in Coney Island as a little kid, Doug. Talk about traumatized. Like if you all go home tonight and get a notebook and write about the things that really traumatized you. Like, to be really honest with you, think about that. What would, like, that lady that said that Kavanaugh showed him his dick, and I ran right away. You got to tell me what was the dick. What was it? Do you have a spot on it or whatever? Really, is showing you a man's dick really that traumatizing?
Depends on
I
the
mean, I saw a
situation.
guy jerking off one time in the park. It didn't affect me at all.
What are you
who I
talking
am.
about?
When I was about 6.
We
I saw a guy jerking off in the park one day. Me and my buddies threw rocks at him and shit.
we
and we went.
We played Portland about a month ago, and the dude jacked off outside the show.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he jacked off, and I didn't see it. The rest of the band saw it. I said, "Man," I tweeted out. I said, "If he's in jail, man, I'll bail him out." I go, "My show's good enough for him to jack off. If you want to jack off after my show, just don't do it in front of me. But if you want to do it outside, I'm down."
Thank
Like
God I
with-
don't like jacking off outside.
With seeing it, I don't like jerking off outside either. But sometimes
I'm
you
not
get the
saying
sudden
I'm
urge.
not saying I was excited. I was just saying it was like it made me feel good that I played a good show.
We're getting the fuck out of here, Wheeler Walker. I love you to death.
I love you
when
too,
you drop
man.
by
It
the
was great
show.
seeing you. I'll be back here and
I'm sorry I couldn't do the tour with you. That was already confirmed, but I can't cancel Portland again. They would fucking kill me.
no, we'll
And I
do
love that
we'll do
club.
another we'll do another one. We'll do
You know,
another
bro,
one soon.
we got big things.
I'll
coming
make it.
up.
I'm gonna make it an annual thing. We'll do it every year.
We'll fucking figure something out.
We,
you know
but
what I'm
how
saying?
much fun do we have at those shows?
I
Lee
had a
was there.
great dog
Yeah,
when
great.
when I asked Fucko at the Novo Theater if he brought his harmonica, the porn guy.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God! He goes, no, I forgot it. And all of a sudden he ripped it out and he started playing it. And then he
Yeah, I got
started
a
nodding.
no Ron Jeremy rule now on my show.
No, you gotta have him at your
No,
show.
he stinks too bad.
Does he really?
Yeah,
His
he's-
body odor?
Does he look like he smells good?
I don't smell people. I
Yeah.
avoid smelling. I look at Lee. I can tell he's got body odor. So
No, I
smell
don't.
him. Why do you think the flies follow you?
They
Because
follow you. I'm
they
in
don't
here.
follow
I
me.
never have flies.
But if I
God
think
damn it,
if
I don't
think
smell
of-
like Ron
I
Jeremy.
know your neck has some wang to it. Somebody told me that your neck.
No,
got
they
wang to it.
don't. Keep.
Somebody
Wheeler,
said
smell my neck.
Somebody
I'll
said
smell
they-
your fucking neck.
Somebody said they smelled your neck at the fourth wall and it smelled like fucking Hindu feet.
I'll
or
tell you
some
right
shit.
now, Lee smells better than Ron Jeremy. I can promise you
Did
that.
you smell Ron Jeremy?
Oh, I still
And,
smell
and he
him.
had wang to him.
I mean, he smelled. He didn't. It wasn't Wang. It was just like
Was it old man?
it was. It was old. It was like
Old pussy.
yeah. It was like 70, like pussy from the 70s.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
He started showing up at my gigs, and I actually said this. I was talking to Kid
You
Rock.
had a bunch of people at the Novo Theater. You had Greg Garcia from My Name Is Earl. He went to see you. A bunch of people went to see you.
yeah, it was a good. It was a good time.
Fucking
man.
people reached out to me the next day. They're like, "Well, you fucking surprised us. We didn't know you were gonna be there." When Greg Garcia fucking told me he was there, I nearly fucking fell off my chair.
He stopped backstage too. By the way, so if you're listening, come to the show back at the Novo. I wish I knew the date, but it's end of November. Just come check it out.
Yeah, and if you're in L.A., listen, whenever this motherfucker's in town, you should be going in to him and saying hello. He's family with the fucking church, and he's earned his fucking right.
And pre-order my new record,
and
please.
pre-order his new record. How can they pre-order it, dog?
iTunes and any of those places.
Okay, pre-order.
Amazon.
When does it get released? What's the release
It's called
date?
WW3.
And when is the release date?
I think November 30th.
Okay, so you got some time now.
The
Remind
day
me.
before is the day you're in LA. The 29th is
Yes, there'll be a
November
record release show. So I'm playing LA 29th.
Yep.
What night is that?
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm out of fucking.
You're out of town?
I'm out of
That's a
town.
bummer. Well, if you were in town, I would have made you go on
Well, you know
stage.
what, man? Tweet it, and I'll tweet it out for you, and we'll figure it out. I love you, Wheeler Walker.
And
You're-
by the way,
you're a
sorry
great
about that
guy.
remember that Rolling Stone thing that you thought was me on the cover?
Yes.
You know who did that?
Who?
Our buddy Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey Klein did that?
Yeah.
That bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
That tricked me. I was so happy for you. I called you. I'm like, he's on the cover.
No, and I
Fucking
missed the
Rolling
call,
Stone.
and then I see you on the podcast talking about how I was too big for you.
Yeah. you
I'm like,
fucking-
I'm like, I didn't miss your call. I was like,
motherfucker didn't call me back. You should have been. If you get on Rolling Stone, I'm the first call you make
oh, I'll
after
call.
your mother.
Well, I wasn't on Rolling Stone.
Because I'll come out here and talk shit about you. He's on Rolling Stone,
Yeah.
suck his dick, all you fucking
No,
boy
I
bands
think I was on tour, and I did.
that are combing your hair and trimming your fucking
Yeah, no.
toenails and fucking. He's
that
out
was
there
that
talking
was
about
fucking
dirty
that was
pussy and
fucking
shit.
Photoshop.
That was tremendous.
Yeah.
You had me. I love you.
I love
Thank
you too,
very
man.
much for
Thanks
coming.
again. I
Don't
love being
forget
on
for
it.
the release date, November 30th, and his show in LA at the Novo Theater on the 29th. And where can they find all your fucking stuff?
Just
What's
go to
the
my website, WheelerWalkerJr.com.
That's it. That's it. I love you, motherfucker. I want to thank Wheeler. I want to thank the Flying Jew, and I want to thank you guys for being the best family in the fucking world. Have a great week. Stay black. See you Thursday morning, nice and early. We'll do the ads in a couple minutes. Open that door.
I wanna be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart. Somebody twice as smart as I. Somebody who will swear to be true as you used to do with me, who'll leave you to learn that misery loves company. Wait and see. I mean, I wanna be around to see how he does it when he breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. And that's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat. When somebody breaks your heart like you